teams will make it through. 8 from the group stage and 1 through the last chance stage. That is the rule. Now it is time to see who can rise through it. From across the world, legends gather here in Malaysia. 20 teams, and only 9 will qualify. The path is set. The stakes are clear. Together, we shine. Stay tuned, and we'll see you at the stage.
Hello. Hello. তপনকে গিয়ে না থাপ্পড় মেরে আসতে ইচ্ছা করে তপন ওয়াইফাই না তো এত টাকা করে প্ল্যান নিই সেরকম কোনো সার্ভিস দেয় না টাকা নেওয়ার বলে টাকা নিয়ে না Hey, what's up guys? Matches are ready.
There is no escape for you.
स्ट्रीम सेटअप चल रहा है थोड़ा होल्ड कर जाओ
Shall I compare thee to a summer's day?
Yeah. So guys, बोलो बोलो स्ट्रीम स्टार्ट हो रहा है यार फुल के भाई
Lady Fortune is on my side.
I don't know but last तो लाइट्स वगैरह नहीं चल रहा प्रॉपर्ली व्हाट हैपेंड Let me check on that to share first. Where is my tripod? এগুলো সরাও এখান থেকে এই সাইডে রাখ So match is near to the door guys. I wish आज इंडिया थोड़ा सा better performance करेगा according to the past days and to be honest no this animated graphics are very cute not graphics I mean videos it's made by HOK official teams
up to a maximum of 10 times. The skill grants guaranteed standard rewards like gold, XP, shield, health recovery, and more. There's also a small chance to uncover mysterious grand prize effects during the match. Digit may also produce tradable high-value treasures. Detailed information about acquired treasures will be shown after the match ends. Each treasure has its own rarity and storage size, and obtained treasures will be automatically stored in your warehouse. If you want more high-quality treasures, make good use of the Treasure Fusion feature. You can also copy and share your code so friends can help speed things up. Treasures in the warehouse can be sold for event currency.
Let me check the stream first.
Skins, items, and other rewards on the event page. You'll even have a chance to win physical prizes like smartphones and cash. You can also spend event currency to bid on high-value rewards. The auction uses a hidden bidding system, where you can submit 2 bids for the same reward. The highest bidder wins, giving you even more ways to obtain rewards.
Oh, nice. If you're new, then please subscribe this channel and join HOK. Description link in the HOK download link in description, guys. Let's see. Let me set up the stream first and like the stream. Yes. So poll also ready, guys. So please stay tuned. Match is gonna start soon. India versus Laos. I don't know, but India get 2 hard team in the entire group stage. To be honest, according to the other regions, in my opinion, I don't know what is the like. Hold up. I don't know what happened. Match is gonna start soon and give me. It's already left 3 minutes 43 seconds, guys. India versus Laos. Sound is okay. I don't know is the official music or not. This is very cool, dude. HBB and HK. Hi, bro. What's up, man?
Now I see that I got everything I need. It's alright, I'm on fire, I'm alive, cause now I fly so high.
भाई फ्लैग क्यों नहीं आ रहा है इंडिया का इमोजी? Kung Fu World. Hold on. Left 2 minutes only. Let me set up the live stream first, guys, and stay tuned. Match gonna start soon. Match is gonna start. I'm just sharing the links with my. Sure. Match is gonna start soon, guys. Oh, I don't know what happened with my face. Sure.
Welcome back after the break. My name is Sagi, your desk host for today. This is day 4, match 3 for the 2026 Asian Games Esports Qualifiers for Honor of Kings. Now, we had a substitution from our coaching staff. We are subbing out Cloud for Adam Spartanker here with Holler as his duo. Welcome to the broadcast.
Hello, welcome, and I feel very excited to be here again once more with Holder. So knowing that we're both on the casting desk, we can assume there's gonna be a lot of time.
Sky for
Yeah.
no.
I don't have the script. I don't force these things.
Yeah.
They just happen naturally, right? So I blame more of the teams, and one of those teams happens to be Laos here, who likes to bring the Tempest Dragon almost every. I mean, yes, they've only played one series, but in both of those games, Tempest Dragons galore.
Yeah, Tempest Dragon galores, and every single one of them has been absolute bangers. We had the longest game coming in from Laos yesterday, timed at 26 minutes 19 seconds here. You know, these things are definitely worth to watch because double Tempest, back-to-back Tempest games, those are the bangers that you will be on your knees for. And right now, if you're wondering when's the new hero coming to Honor of Kings official server, you need to check out June 17th. 4 new heroes, 3 from AOB will come over to the side of Honor of Kings with Davara, the new hero, and 3 of the Lorien, Annette, and Florentino will be joining us just 2 more days. So log into
Oh,
your game
L'Oreal
and
also
make
coming.
sure you play it
Nice.
out.
I'm excited for Florentino, especially. He's a hero.
Florentino and L'Oreal,
For,
3 new
and
heroes are coming, guys.
it's a very high skill shielding hero. Everyone knows that we really need to train that hero very well. But going into the game today, we're gonna go with India and Laos. It's gonna be very interesting. Probably one of the closest match that we have today. So it's gonna be very interesting.
Yeah. So for me, it's kind of like, how does India respond? Right?
Yeah.
You saw that Laos had a lot of momentum. I mean, this last series of the day yesterday, and that took a lot of energy to play 2 back-to-back games where, you know, again, Tempest Dragons galore. But this is the moment where you're like, okay, India, now, how do they respond? Because this is must win. They lose this one, they're pretty much essentially out of the Asia Games.
Yeah, you can't really start the group with a 0-3 record. If you're India, you want to be at least be able to recover some wins in your specific group itself. 1-2,
Yeah.
and so you still save that chance going into the last chance stage. At the very least, you still have a shot going into the main event. But if you lose this as India, I have bad news for you, buddy.
Yeah. This is gonna be the most important day. Day 4 is when everything starts to get a little bit more saturated, and the fact that we can see some of the teams will be confirmed sort of not to be able to go to the main event, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna be going all out to try their best to be able to represent their region as best as they can. This is why today is something that everyone has to be watching.
Yeah.
That's why eyes are on the stage right now as we introduce both teams coming into the match 3 of the day. We will welcome India and Laos to take the stage with this teaser video. Let's get to it.
Hmm?
এখন ভিড় বাঞ্চা কম হবে 11টা সাড়ে 11টা থেকে সাড়ে 12টা বাজে এখন চলে যাই আটটা থেকে তো আপনি আর বেরোবেন না না বেরোবেন তো শুধু এরা
The beat
ভেঙেই
has
বেরোবে
not slowed their pace or their aggression. They continue to force fights and push every
এই সময়
opponent
এই
to the
আজকে
limit.
হচ্ছে
Now they return,
মঙ্গলবার তো
still hungry for their first.
শুক্রবারের মধ্যে সব
Yeah.
Some noise for India!
They made their statement and they are not done yet. Their composure under pressure has created unforgettable comebacks. Now they return, ready to fight for another victory, entering the arena, Laos!
Laos, a
Laos
team
versus
specialized in long games, and India hungry for their first win. This match 3 coming into day 4 will definitely be an eye candy for whoever is currently watching right now on this current platform. And I gotta say, this is an exciting one because India needs that first win.
Yeah, definitely need their first win, get
they
themselves on the
should.
board, but it's going to be represented by the Revenant X Spark group. India here, Ashish, Ainul, Harsh, Ayush, as well as Akshaj. This is a team that we've seen glimpses. There are definitely moments where you're like, this is why they're the best team in India.
Yeah.
But to bring it onto the stage here, they need to strike, and they need to strike hard going up against this Laos team.
And we all remember the fact that Akshaj actually played very well. He consistently go to the front, opening up vision for his entire team. I'm pretty sure that they can continue doing something the same for right now and be able to actually pull off something good.
I think the strategic advantage coming in from India is the mechanical prowess coming in from Ainul and how the team plays around him. But my worry is, how can they convert their jungle lead to defeat their opponents coming in as the Laos?
And this will be the lineup coming from Laos. We have Kampeng, Vilakone, Southeast Asia, Fokam, and Sahalath. One of the 5 that we all know and love. They play very, very well. They have proven their capabilities in the Gorge.
I think the game 2 yesterday in their series just kind of proved just how good this team is, because with the backs on the wall, Falcom had to make a miracle play, not only with one Fever Barrage, but Salad also throwing out the Celestial Melody, so he had this second Fever Barrage to deal with that minion wave crashing in, to keep their crystal up at 1%,
Yeah.
is why this team is up 1-0 in this group.
If there ever is a highlight of the top 5 plays, that's definitely going to be high up there with the clutch crystal defense coming in from Fulham and Laos. But is that a miracle? Because can you repeat it? If you can repeat it, sure, great. But right now,
This is going to be
the
hard.
person, the team, the region that needs a miracle might be India to survive in this group.
Yeah, 100% Laos is like, I don't want to repeat it. Let it be a miracle, right? It is not good for them to get it to 1% and to somehow survive where you're able to take over and control that game, which was like looking to be a losing venture for yourself. And again, I think that Laos here, they're going to be happy with just, a stomp if they can.
Their poor hearts, man. If we have this heartbeat monitor up on the wrist of the players, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to see a very, very high heartbeat rate because the game yesterday was so good. The fact that they were able to defend so well and try their very best. That's what we wanted to see, right? I was actually in the talents room when you guys were casting, and we were all standing up, Sagi. We were all cheering because it was just so fun to watch.
My man, even though I was not casting in the game physically, when I was watching it, I was literally standing up
Right?
looking at the finale. Yeah, but we gotta stand up first for the first pick and ban coming in between India and Laos. Important game for India. They need to establish that momentum after that 0-2 group stage run. They need to make sure they pick up this game
What's
flawlessly
up, bro?
and go
Yeah,
into
never
a
talking
potential
with me
series
again.
win.
Why
For
I'm
Laos,
not
it's about
stopping playing the
cementing
game?
themselves, coming into Group C, making it to the main event.
What happened,
All
dude?
right, as we have the draft underway, Yuhan's going to be picked up first. It has done quite a number against this India squad. Yuhan has been just absolutely tearing it up whenever it's on the opposing side. So they're like, actually, let's put it into our arsenal. It has a lot of flexibility in terms of role. Harsh can pilot it as well. So you have a lot of options to start things off, especially early.
Yeah, and we do know that they're going with Ukyo as the first pick for Laos. It's going to be a very strong pick, and a Chano with a Spirit Wolves for sure. And we have a Charlotte, my favorite, and also an Atta. So this is going to be a very interesting one. They do have a very tanky jungle, scaling through his HP. So this means that Lao really need heroes that will buy items like Mask of Agony for Xiao Chao maybe, or Doomsday, to maybe melt down some of this Atta HP.
Yeah, that probably makes sense, right? Like, you need need those items to actually take down a tanky frontline like the Ata here as we pace into the second phase of the pick and bans. Lao's priority is to make sure that Foham on that channel gets uncontested priority in the laning phase, plus going into the late game. As you see towards the India draft, there's not a lot of heroes that can actually access to the backline to capitalize on Sudase or Foham on those double carries here. And for me, my current worry for India right now,
Yeah.
what kind of roamers are you trying to play? Or are you trying to flex the Yuhuan to the roamer role and pick an alternative mage instead?
You have an option, right? I think it really comes back to just how this draft kind of irons itself out in this final phase. It looks like they don't have, I mean, they think it's going to be not a roamer as they've banned out the Zhang Fei from the
Yeah,
bottom side. So it's a little bit of a
like the
mind
stream, like
game
the
in
stream.
terms of this direction here.
Oh, that's a lot of
Are
tanky
you
roamers
they
being banned
gonna
by
win
both
there?
teams here. Lianpo, Lapu Lapu, Zhang Fei all removed from the pool. It's slightly worrying if you're on the Laos side because there's not a lot of tank heroes, potentially like the Bai Chi or Byron own they can actually venture into because the roamer pool, tank roams are practically removed, at the very least the meta ones.
I agree, and I think that they have to find something else that is much more suitable. It seems like they're gonna go with the idea, and it shows that they don't have that tankiness just yet. This is quite brave for them to go with a roamer support. So we can assume that the clash lane from Laos is gonna be something much more tankier, or else they're gonna be facing a little bit of a problem to open up the map.
Yeah, so I'm okay with this idea here because it actually, you're thinking ghost ship, lock it down, but actually, I Hartwell on out of this one. You have that get out of jail free card. Plus, you're trying to keep Uyuko alive when you know that that ghost ship is trying to kind of isolate and separate you guys in a team fight.
I'm not a big fan of this Zhuangzi per se here because this Zhuangzi, there's not a lot of crowd control coming in from Team Lao's side that actually would utilize this Zhuangzi well. But yes, it's still another body coming in from India alongside the Ata to practically push forward as the defense line, allowing both Harsh and the farm lane to do more damage here. And the last big party is actually
Hello, yo, Sunny, what's
coming
up?
in for Mr. Team Laos here. Yes, they don't have frontline in their team composition, but the healing is actually really stable coming in from Team Lao's composition.
थोड़ा शेयर कर
Plus,
देना ग्रुप में.
the mid, roam, and jungle synergy is off the charts coming in from the red team.
Yep, and we will see on how they're gonna be executing with all of these heroes that they
क्या
have
लग रहा है
played.
कौन
It
जीतेगा? I
seems
don't
like
know, but
a
they
much
they
more
played well.
balanced in terms of hero composition coming in from India, to be honest, even though they do have Zhuangzi, but at least they have someone who can open up the map.
Yeah, both of these squads here have played some of the most games with Tempest Dragons, so I'm pretty sure, hey, if you want to get your popcorn and everything ready for this, this is probably the one. It's probably going to go to mid to late with how these teams have played in the past.
Bro,
The
India
competitive
वाला
level is
कैंडी
definitely close,
कैरी द
but
गेम
we're going
lol.
to get some fireworks.
सैनी कुछ बोलना चाहता है कैंडी के
It's
बारे
going
में,
to be
right?
interesting how Ashi is going to be handling
Because
a lot
that
of
guy
things.
only the last stop for the
Rotation is
team.
going to be done
India gonna
from
win, bro.
Laos as
Anyhow, India
well.
gonna
Going
win.
to try to move towards the bottom lane, and there's not going to be so much of an aggression
I don't know.
just
They
yet.
should win this
But for
games.
sure, both sides of the jungle going to focus on their own resources first. A very interesting path taken by Villacone, but some pokings has been done by both sides of the farm lanes.
Yeah, Laos there, I mean, they're going to take the
Bro, I
fire.
don't know how to
Those
join the
1-1s, they
tournament.
got a little bit of an advantage in that one, and I know thought he could steal that
Yeah,
one
Candy
away.
gonna carry,
And,
yes.
you're kind of
End
seeing
of the
just
day,
how
Candy
Ino
gonna
likes
carry.
to kind of flex based on the heroes that are selected for the draft. Sometimes he's the jungler, sometimes he's going to be the farm laner. In this case, he's been playing actually mainly the farm laner in the Asia Games qualifier thus far.
Yeah, and Fokam's gonna move more to the back and giving a hand to Villacone to start the jungle. Rotation is gonna be done by Laos towards the mid lane as well to open up the map more, potentially getting ready for a team fight. But it seems like they're just gonna try to see if they can poke just a little bit with the
One
idea
link in the description
skills
below,
to
like
steal
HOK
some of
Global
that
one
hooks.
link.
It gets quite
I take
annoying
an
every time
opportunity.
she starts to put her hands into your pokes.
Yeah, and solid right there. I mean, he's kind of been rotating. They get the mini stun on top of him with a flash away and
Oh,
not
shit,
enough to
nice one.
bitter farewell. She's just
ये
barely
लोग
hanging
ओवर
on.
एक्शन
He's
कर रहे हैं
gonna
सैनी.
recall
What do
back
you
to
think?
safety.
Back to safety he goes. 800 gold in front for Laos. This is going to be a good start for them. Diadia using the teleportation, moving down to the bottom lane. Ainol is alone for now, but this gives some freedom for India to do a very good rotation together, hopefully to catch someone somewhere else.
Yeah, and if anything, it's a potential gank attempt. I think that Laos has done a better job, at least of securing that
Laos
farm
actually.
lane
What
and
do you
gold
think,
sharing and the way the
सैनिक थे तू थोड़ा
rotations have
एनालाइज
happened,
कर.
especially with Salat. He's
लास्ट गेम हम
always
लोग
made
कल
an
का
impact,
मैच तू
right? Because he's
डिस्कॉर्ड में
there
आना,
at the
हम
right
लोग
time.
करेंगे
That
एक साथ में,
teleport
ठीक
was
है?
perfectly timed for him as well in terms of this game state.
And lo and behold, somehow, suddenly, 1,000 gold in front for Lao. It seems like they're trying to force this one out.
Yeah, Sudazai, he's actually stuck on that ghost ship. He's trying to run away, but he's going to give up first strike.
हाँ,
Har
मैं भी वही कैंडी पे
gets
ही
that
भरोसा कर
one
रहा हूँ.
and the perfect setup, and
Bro, I
India
don't join
strikes
the
first.
tournament.
Oh, they're gonna
I
try
don't
to
have that
catch
age,
one.
dude.
I know
Oh,
will
nice
go
one.
down immediately. It's very unfortunate for him. Aksha is actually quite far, and they're gonna try to slow it down just a little bit because they're losing one after another. But you know what? It's a good start for India as well because they actually managed to get one just now.
Yeah, taking that one away. And I think Aino also, he thought he was a little bit safe, but the control, this is why the Diadea pick, it's that
যাচ্ছ তুমি কেন?
bonus
সাথে সাথে
control
চলো.
which you need, and
না
it
না
just like locks him
এই যে
down. So
15
Aino
মিনিট
wasn't
নাচ
able to
করতে
get
পাও
away, and you know Falcom on this,
দেখবি
is going to
ওরা
just
জ্যাম
kind of,
কালকে
Chano,
সকালে
excuse me, is going to
ওদের
just do
মধ্যে
some
যাওয়ার
damage.
দিকে
Yep,
এখন
definitely.
কাজ
The
করতে
damage
হবে
coming in from
क्या रे?
Kano is going to be huge as well during the mid game
अरे
towards the
लैग
late
क्यों कर
game.
रहा है?
She's might be in a little bit of a danger.
भाई
Happily,
नेपाल
Bilakon
is doing
with a
better
little
than
push
us.
towards the
हाँ,
top
मेरे को
lane,
पता
but
है.
they're still
मैं तो
okay.
वही बोला.
Seems like both of them are respecting each other so much that they refuse to do too much of an aggressive play just in case something goes wrong.
But the problem is you can't respect them too much because that plays into a passive game. India seems to be doing that. They're falling further and further behind. You need to be a little disrespectful. Go in aggressive. And now it looks like they get a little stun onto Harsh. He's not even there. I'll kill
India,
this one. And
I don't
Laos
know,
have
but
opened
नेपाल
it
का
up.
बहुत
They're
ज़्यादा
going to
ही
look to
सीन है.
take this turret.
But no,
Maybe it's a
iRON,
little
which
long.
organization
No,
is the
Bilakon
team of
says,
India?
I got this. I got my
अरे
stuff.
ये
A
एशियन
solid
गेम्स है.
point
इंडिया
coming
डायरेक्टली
in from
खेल रहा है.
Bilakon. There's almost
इंडिया
nothing
का
Aksha
डायरेक्ट
can
टीम
do
है,
to take
ठीक
this.
है? तो इधर पे
Keep his
टीम
distance,
इंडिया
and
और
he has
टीम
to be a reactive
लाओस का
team,
मैच
right?
चल रहा है
He
फॉर
has to
नाउ.
wait for
तो
crowd
टीम
to
इंडिया
move
लेफ्ट
in
साइड का
from
मैचेस है,
Laos.
जो
So
लेफ्ट में
that
जो बंदे दिख
defense
रहे हैं वो
effect
लोग टीम
will
इंडिया
be
से है.
much more effective, and they're gonna be focusing down on the tower for sure. But look
या
at the idea.
वही तो
Yeah,
दिक्कत है. We
this
wanna
is what
take
you
the
want to do. You want to harass
back
them,
lane.
you
I
push
don't have
them
any
back,
idea
and
about
then
this. So
now that damage
it's very
from
difficult
Aino,
to
not
take
really able to
down.
get onto the minions, and Aino running for his
How to
life.
join
He's
the
going to get jumped
tournament?
on.
Can
Somehow
you
gets
explain
picked
someone
up.
to him? To
Falcom
oh, nice
finding him
one.
out, but it looks like he's going to trade his
अरे
life away.
भाई, oh
Salah will be taken
nice.
down as well. Ayush is on the
कैंडी
run.
कुछ करेगा
Sudazai
मेरे को लग
running
रहा
for
है.
his life, and he's able to flash at least for now. He's kind of
इन लोग का
sticking
मेज
around, and
उतना
Harsh is low as well,
like they
but
have to
he will survive.
overextend somehow.
India coming out advantage
I know,
2-1 for
but
them.
which
Oh, it's
organization
gonna
are
be
they?
big of a
People
problem for
from
them. But
like
look
RNTX,
how they're
RNTX.
trying to get a
Full
hero,
RNTX का team है
and
ये.
he managed to run away fairly quickly to safety. And they're gonna try to steal this very blue buff as well, and it's no problem whatsoever. 3,000 gold in front for them. And even though they actually lost a couple of heroes, they do manage to capture some objectives, right? The tier 1 towers at the bottom lane, also in the mid lane, has been destroyed immediately.
RNTX है.
So I
Crowley
think
नहीं
it's
है.
a
Crowley
pretty
होता तो I
good
feel
move
better
for them
होता.
for now
I
that
don't
they
know
can
why
carry
he
over
did
to the
not
next one
join.
because the vision from Team India is gonna be missing.
Yeah, and India got those kills, and now it looks like they might get a potential other one. But the way that Laos was able to navigate that, use that space to, again, as you rightly pointed out, the mid T1, then they took the Azure Golem. That is a net worth win. That is going to further exacerbate the issue for
Is
India
the
here.
South
Great to see
Africa
on how
player
Aksha
allowed
is
to
right
this
behind them.
tournament?
Looks like they're gonna start something great.
No,
They're
not
going to
they are not
disarrow
selected.
Harsh on the
They have to
backside. The Ghost Ship
participate
is
for
shutting it
this.
down. They're trying to go for
उसका
combat.
passport
He's going to
issue
dash
था bro.
away,
अच्छा,
gets
got
on
it.
out. India
I
not able
mean,
to
I did
catch
not
anybody.
follow his
Bottom lane
live
was
stream or
pushing
something, you know.
Billikon, just striving with all that space that's given to them.
Bilakon, he's very active on the side lane.
I
It's
don't have a
interesting, they're
passport.
doing
I
a
have to make a
4-1
passport one. देखता
formation
हूँ
with
situation थोड़ा
Bilakon
सही होने पे
on
मैं
the side
passport
lane. Even though
बनाऊंगा.
he's the jungler,
Important है
it's
वो.
because he has the most mobility. It all makes
पासपोर्ट और
sense.
ड्राइविंग लाइसेंस
If
दोनों ही
the
बनाना है मेरे को
tempo
बहुत
actually
जल्दी.
heads towards Bilakon, he might be in a bit of a danger. So he still has to be very careful. It's not the end for India yet, actually, because they actually managed to prove to us that they were able to take down some of the heroes from Laos just now.
Well, it's a never say die attitude. You need that, especially when you're down 0-2. But the way that Laos right now has been completely
गॉलर रिन्यू
dismantled,
या
not
रिन्यू
giving them
करने
any
में क्या
time,
लगता है?
taking whatever sort of fight that they
I
want.
have
Yeah,
to
they're
make one
tied in
for
terms of
myself
kills,
also.
but those kills were sacrificed for objectives, and why Laos right now are literally snowballing here.
I think
Hmm,
India can actually
सही है.
still pull this one off fairly okay because if they do a proper rotation from mid to top, top
Just
to
one
bottom, I think
interview.
they can
Oh,
still defend fairly
bro,
quickly, fairly
game
okay.
make
5,000
passport
goal in
join.
front from
Let's see.
Laos. Pretty sure India is gonna
I
be
have to
struggling a little bit with this economical difference,
stream
but
buffer हो रहा
I
है क्या
think as long as
guys?
in their hands, they will be able to stop some of the
मेरा मुंह
problems
फुल
that
गया
we
दिख
can
रहा है
see
क्या?
from Laos.
Yeah, that would be best case scenario, but those big team fights have not been happening, right? And the way that Laos are just like poking and prodding it, it looks like Villacone, he gets on out. The ghost ship was potentially shutting the door for him, but he does get on out.
A very quick move coming in from Villacone. They're going to prepare for the next one. Look how aggressive Villacone is. He's always trying to seek for chances.
Yeah, and actually they're going to find a better target. Ayushi, though, he's going to be taken down, and it looks like on the side, Confang is doing some slash work with this one. They're going to push, and they get the pick off that they're looking for, but they have a sight on a bigger target.
No stream is smooth. Keep cam
Still
a
haven't
little
had
for
the
us.
chance to
Okay,
see
got it.
Ashish in action for now, but we still have come.
ये live
Now
stream
he
का जो
will
application है उसका
destroy the tier
like
3
ratio
tower,
का
put
issue है. I don't know
pressure
what
up
happened
onto
with
India
this.
so that his teammates have this space to play around in the
अब
mid
ऊपर
lane.
से
They're
शैम्पू
gonna
क्या है
try
भाई
to
मेरा
keep
बाल
on
भी सब बिखर
pressuring
गया.
towards India as much as they can
Sunglass तो
just
दियो तो.
before the next tyrant comes up.
A very patient play by Laos. We've proven time and time again. This
हाँ.
is what good teams do.
ऊपर ऊपर.
When they know they're in the lead, the minion wave wasn't there, but actually bigger objective on plate. Let's get the tyrant here, take this one out, and again, push when we have the
Sunglass
proper,
नहीं होगा नहीं.
appropriate resources to us.
Ooh, Holler,
की
look
बोलो.
how immense amount of damage coming in from Laos.
वो
It
खड़े
seems
खड़े
like they're
हो
gonna
तो.
force this one out as well.
ये
Try
देखो
to
देखो तो
secure
हाथ
the
तो ये
juggler
करो.
with no problem whatsoever, but it seems like it didn't go towards Villacone. It actually went to someone else, his teammate.
ऊपर ही चलो ऊपर ही
From
चलो.
India, right? Like all of this stuff, like look at how much time that they're just
ऊपर ही
working
टाइट चलो
around.
देखो तो
Yeah,
ऊपर
they're sticking together,
ऊपर ही
but
चलो.
they're not getting any farm. They're not getting themselves back into this, and the Laos lead is growing even further because again, they're so efficient across the map.
Yeah, Pokham definitely has his itemization right now. He has Eternity Blade, but he
Nice.
also
By
did
India
go
gonna
for a
lose
very
if they
early
don't
barrier
control
to
map
make
before the
sure
10 minute. Yeah,
Ayush and
exactly.
Akshach
By the way,
don't
L'Oreal
go
आ रहा
down
है.
as
L'Oreal.
soon as they
Did you
connect
know
with
this?
the basic attack coming in from Pokham. So this is
L'Oreal
a
is coming,
very
bro.
crucial and important itemization that has been done by Laos players.
We're down about 7K. The 10-minute mark is around the corner.
I don't know, but India का
India,
थोड़ा
they're
सा
looking for some way to get back
better
into
side
this.
दिख
Maybe
रहा है
get some
guys.
sort of
I mean ये
pickoff.
लोग
But the
जीत
way that
सकते हैं
Laos,
मेरे
look
को
at
लग
how
रहा है,
they're
but they have
manipulating
to
this map
take the
control.
more
They're
towers.
up
I
in
don't
front of
know.
the brush.
Until
They
they
know we have
take their
vision.
more
So
towers,
this
it's
can be
very
aggressive
I mean
because
it's
he
kind
knows
of
that he can just
difficult.
jump back onto his
सैनिक
team.
ने actually
But
ठीक ही
Villacone
बोला है
there,
10
again,
minutes तक
you just
control
want
नहीं
to
होगा तो
constantly
मुश्किल है.
poke and prod, push them back.
Yeah, I agree. I
Who
was
knows
actually
guys? India
expecting
gonna
them to
win.
be
Nepal
successful
gonna
because they're
Nepal
playing
did
an
well,
assassin
bro.
composition without anyone to tank in front. But it seems like
L'Oreal
for
what
now, we
hero?
decided
अरे L'Oreal कॉट का याद नहीं
towards the
है.
front and just keep on poking, keep on opening the map, and using all of his skill sets to scare away anyone potentially hiding inside any brushes. So I think this all makes sense right now, and let's see how they're gonna try to greedily, I'm at, to get both of the objectives
Yeah.
together at the same time.
Yeah, this is definitely greedy, but they're so far up, right?
Exactly,
I mean, Overlord's
exactly.
already taken down. Tyrant is easily going to be taken as well. And
Who
India
wanna
is
take
left
this?
wanting, just watching what's happening. And they're taking all of the buffs.
Dayo-chan, but
Vanguards are
L'Oreal
also
आ
gonna
रहा है.
push,
इन लोगों
but
ने
they
ये
have
लोग
no
बात कर
towers.
रहे थे. बोल रहे थे कि
Again,
यूपी से
no
3
space
हीरो
to
आ
go.
रहे हैं.
We can see, Holler, the confidence in the
तो उनमें से
Laos
L'Oreal भी
players
एक है.
is a lot right now. It's at its peak for sure, and they know how to really control the entire map and how
अरे
committed
यार.
Sahalath is to consistently stay up front.
I don't know what
Make
happened.
sure
This
no
coach
one
is good. India
would,
coach is good, bro.
going coming up from the
Discord में
base
इनसे
too
बात
much
हुआ.
to really punish anyone who's trying
इनका
to
coach
sneak out.
अच्छा है
Actually,
actually.
that's the life of a roamer, right? Sometimes it's you can be sacrificed if you will, but somebody has to be that guy, and definitely he's got the right tools for it as well, especially with his mobility. But again, just up front, providing the heals, taking everything and looting and pillaging the jungle as they're looking to go high ground here.
Yeah, and we also know that the dragons are here. They might start something new. We can see Villacone is very ready. He's going to try to find that stun, but it did not connect. He did not commit to it because it's a bit too dangerous for him to actually do something. Waiting for the huge Vanguard to arrive. Are they going to do something now or not? It seems like no.
Yeah, leader stance is going to be popped. That's going to create a little bit more space. But on the side, they're just chipping
I don't know. I'm
away at
asking.
it,
They allow
and they do
Europe
eventually
countries.
take
Yes,
that bottom
exactly.
lane,
They
but they
allow.
found him, at least the unenemy
But they
side,
have
keeping
to
Marsh alive,
participate.
at
It
least for
depends on the
now. But they
country's
got what they wanted. Now they're going
management
to turn their attention to the mid
or
lane.
Thunderflash
officials.
coming in from Sahala. They know he doesn't have flash anymore,
Huh?
but they do manage to destroy tier 3 towers, 2 of them, one at the middle, one at the bottom, and most likely the one at the top as well.
Yeah, taking all of the towers at the same time, and now Villacone getting away as well. They get the mini stun on top of, it looks like Ayush on this one, but now, again, they're just going to be backing off. They can regroup, heal up, and look to push again for that final push.
Yeah, no problem whatsoever. 44,000 gold. This is actually 12,000 gold in front of India, which is an extremely amount of gold right now, an advantage for them definitely. Maybe we could say the equivalent of 4 Overlord's might. That's how much money they have right now. It's a lot.
They're completely dominant in this one, and
True.
the way that they're able to, I mean, like Harsh just walked out, and generally as the U1, you too want to be the forward scout, but when you're getting chipped away, you don't want to use your unnamed arrow just to like a couple shots from Falcom, but that's what's happening here.
Yeah, and Pogrom actually has Doomsday right
इंडिया
now.
कैसे
He
जीतेगा
knows
लग
that
रहा है और
he
क्या लग रहा
controls
है?
his stuffs. He really needs to melt down Zhangzi and also Atta. So Ayush and Akshash really have to be careful here.
Yeah, they find a she's going to be zoned away, and now
By the way,
can they find any other
Instagram
targets?
link
They're
Discord में
looking,
है, you guys
but
just check
they're
it out.
not too far from
Sorry,
the crystal. At
description
the
में है.
same time, India don't want to stray too far from that. They've done a good job of wave clearing. Again, just trying to stay alive as long as possible will definitely help. But now they're looking to go in. Vilacone just gets a little bit of a
Oh,
taste on the
bhai.
go shift, just locking at least
They
Kingfong on the
saved
wrong
us.
side of this one. He flashes back to safety. He brings his friend Salat, and now again they're constantly just skirmishing back and forth.
Yeah, they're waiting for all the minions to come in. They opened all of their ultimates, and now is he gonna jump in with the flashes? That's what we're gonna see. There's no
They
knockdown just yet,
can't
but they're all
hold or
being
they
very
can't
careful
push,
right now.
bro.
Yeah, the crystal,
This
again,
is my
the wave clear
thinking.
has been kind of real. I mean, they might go in, they
How
just
do
might go for that, but the back door is going to be turned on at the
oh, bhai.
last minute.
What's the
Laos was
coach
thinking
name?
about
10k gold
closing the
yeah.
game out, but at the last moment, India were like, oh crap, we need to
Coach name
defend, and they jump
अरे
in.
मेरे को याद
The
नहीं आ रहा.
discipline from Laos. I know that any other teams would have just dived right in
Exactly.
and tried to end it as soon as possible. But you know what? No, we're gonna try to take our time, make sure that no mistakes is being made. This is how we discipline ourselves. This is how we learn how
अरे यार
not
कोई
to
तो try
force
करो
anything that
एटलीस्ट.
is unnecessary. They want to make sure that nothing wrong happens here, because India actually proven at the bottom lane, right? They actually managed to actually strike down a lot of heroes coming from Laos.
Yeah, and I mean, they did damage, but unfortunately not able to get any kills. The way that the Laos was able to kind of use that mobility, right? That butterfly effect of just like kind of moving around, ensuring that they dodge most of the punches that were being thrown their way. But now with both the Vanguard, the Overlord, and the Tyrant at the same time, this is looking to be GG, at least for India here.
Yeah, for now, because they do have a lot of advantage on top of that, a 12,000 gold lead and all of the itemization. They are almost completed all of their main core items as well. And we're gonna see Southeast Eye is gonna be trying to poke as much as he can. We have Kampung getting ready to give a lot of pressure down below.
They're rushing in. Vilacone finding it. They want to go at least on the Akshay. They're not able to find it. They find Harsh instead. That's a juicier target.
Holy
they find
shit.
a Sheesh. That's
This
a
is
double
the
thus
last
far. And now
gank
they're going for
or
the
last
crystal. The
fight
go
for
shift
this game,
potentially
guys.
slowing them
But
down,
they are
Ayush is gonna be picking it up
trying
as
their
well.
best.
But the backdoor protection
Let's
is
cheer
back
for
up
India.
here in the fountain. Idol is the guy. As long as he stays alive, they got a chance. But it's 1 versus 5. No minions. They're sticking around. They're squatting in your base. And now Laos is looking to end as the final Vanguard is there. Idol just trying to go back to the fountain. He's not gonna go, and it looks like game 1 goes
Holy
the way
shit.
of Laos.
Victory, fast victory for
Crystal clear
Laos.
and magnificent macro game here coming in from Laos.
Macro बहुत बढ़िया
Unnecessary
है,
fights
to
were
be
not
honest.
involved at all. It's all
Yo, what's up,
about
buddy? थोड़ा stay कर,
objectives,
hello.
invasions, taking
Hello,
away
Madrid, hello,
gold
Madrid.
from the enemy, and that's how they built such a convincing lead. With 3 high ground towers taken away from India, they just made it look easy in this game 1.
You gotta respect that, right? The discipline coming in from Laos, the way they hold what they really wanted to do, which is destroy the crystal. They were really disciplined themselves and not force any unforced error, which is so clean. That is something that can be taken as an inspiration by any other team, I think.
The patience, right? The
Picks
ability
too
to
late
just know
game hero.
when to
Yeah.
fight, when not to,
How is
right?
the
I think
prize
that
pool, bro?
it
Hello,
takes
Ari.
a
What's
very
up? कैसा
strong
है?
team, right? You gotta trust your
Ipsy का
brothers,
stream
you
भी
gotta
start
trust your
होगा.
teammates to ensure that you're on the same page, because there are a lot of people that just are impatient. They're bloodthirsty. They want to go in and they want to end. But if you're able to just rein it in, they had no chance for India to come back into this.
It comes down to draft and execution, right? We talk about the Ukyu Tachibana, Xiao Qiao, and also the Diadia being a very strong trio in the mid, roam, and jungle. The 3v3 is so consistent, the damage is so great, even under the circumstance that
What do you think,
saw
Sunny?
the first strike go over to the side of India. But the underlying effect of having a strong mid trio, it just gives them so much room to go for invasion, so much room to go for offensive plays in the early game. And India knows we need so much more time to actually gather resource, get those items to scale into that mid game. But Laos just didn't give them the chance. They were just pressing on that pedal and they did not stop until the end game.
Very brave as well
Okay,
how
okay.
they decided to go with Fatih instead of any other much more tankier hero compared to Fatih because they literally have no one else to open up push or tank some damage in front, but they actually managed to pull it off, having Diadia going to the front all the time, and Vinakon himself actually just keep on diving forward, stunning and making stunning just perfect.
I think it's a
Yeah,
confidence thing, right? I
কুকুরের লেজ
think
কোনো
that they're like,
কোনো জন্য
hey,
সোজা হয় না
we're gonna be fine. We
তুমি
don't
তো
need the tank. We want to punch you, not take a punch, right? They don't need to do that because their mobility, the way that they're able to execute and take those team fights and take advantage of them, it really didn't seem like India had any answers.
there was never a full-on blown-out team fight. It was always a small skirmish. Take a takedown, we did. Take something, we did. That's how Laos
it's
actually
a lot
played
of money
the game
I mean,
itself. It
how
was
can I
very
explain it
clean, objective-centric.
Clean.
They are not coming down for takedowns. As long as we take something and we get out safely, that's the entire game plan coming in from Laos, slowing down the farming tempo coming in from India. You can see unnecessary fights were not involved at all in this game, as Laos only suffered 3 casualties in the entire game that went down. Even when they took all 3 towers down, they learned from their lesson yesterday
Yeah.
when they almost got outplayed and was made a comeback upon by
Yeah.
their opponents here. And coming into today, when they were going onto the high ground, the crystal, when the base is empty, they were very slow. They were like, okay guys, since we can't end here, let's take a retreat, wait for objectives, finish them up, and then we close the game.
And looking at the itemization coming in from Pokam, he actually went with Eternity Blade first and then immediately rushing the Daybreaker. This means that he really understood his assignment. He knows he has to try to melt down the Zhuangzi and also the Atta as soon as he can. And he actually moved towards that. Also made possible because of the Romo that he has. Sahala who always gives him a lot of space, and also Villacone who always rotates towards his lane.
I'm kind of looking at this draft though, and I see Akshaj on the Zhuangzi, and for me, I just don't feel like there was enough value.
Correct.
Right, if you had like a typical junker, and I know that they banned many of those types of heroes out, but I just feel like if he had a little bit more of a team fight centric, big alt Lapu Lapu style hero, they would have had a little bit more success. As opposed to, again, you're trying to play a reactive passive game, and that's kind of losing when you're looking at the rest of your roster.
It goes back to what we discussed just now during the pre-game draft, right? Like Zhuangzi,
Hold,
there's
guys,
not
hold.
a lot of crowd control coming in from Team Laos that you actually need to trap it up.
Yeah.
And they sort of step on their own feet when they ban away the Liam Tong, Lapu Lapu, and then when it comes to Team Laos, they also ban away the Zhang Fei. So all 3 tank roams were simultaneously removed from the pool, leaving one of the best squishy roamers, a utility one, which is the Diadea, handed over to Team Laos here. So for Team India, maybe revisit back into the draft might be a better decision here coming into game 2.
I agree, and also kudos to Team Laos's coach because they actually pull it off very well. He knows his player for sure, and this is the statistics that is being shown on how the damage contribution coming in from Team Laos is, quite balanced, which shows that everyone does their jobs and no one is actually hyper carrying too much the entire game. Everyone is pulling their weight and actually doing a lot of things together. That's the important thing, togetherness.
And in the same way, like Salat, like the way Suzai and then those guys were working around with their stuns, really set it up for the rest of the team. The team is starting to gel with one another. They're playing their role properly, finding the right pickoffs, having that vision and control. And if you're going to be a good team, you got to know how to close out games, and that was textbook here by Laos.
Very textbook, right? From the way on how they take the skirmishes, how they build the lead, how they made the minions simultaneously enter the base of Team India, and then they pulled back, went back towards the objective to look for a perfect game closure. I would say this is one of the better games that we've seen coming in from Team Laos, especially for this important series. They definitely are on the top.
Textbook, I actually like that word, Holler. It makes sense because that's what's the word I was looking for. Their gameplay is literally textbook because they have actually a lot of chances to actually end the game earlier, actually force a fight, dive into towers, but they did not do any of those because they did not have to. So that's what textbook is all about. Trying not to do unnecessary mistakes is something that a lot of people out there can really learn and apply to many different things.
Yeah, and I mean, these are the highlights here. It kind of started all right for India. They had a decent chance, but then once Aino got like taken out, you're like, oh, Oh man, actually that's going to slow them down even further. India really relying on Ainu's play to stay alive. Not easy, especially when you have multiple members coming from all angles to try to take you down here.
This was one of the plays coming in from the side of both teams. And you can see that, yes, it's a pretty even one, but India actually lost so much resource on the map that pulled them even behind in the game, leading to, you see, the takedown scores 3-4 before this fight exactly started. But after that, what exactly went down is that during the downtime of the eliminations happening,
Yeah.
it was just Team Laos taking resource, buffs, towers, everything on the map. And on this map itself, there was no single tower surrender coming in from Team Laos against the enemy team. And this is one of the first Dynasty MVPs coming in from Sahala, the rover of Team Laos.
This is the first time any sort of support, I think. I mean, we need to check.
Right.
I don't remember, but
I
it's
think
been a
so.
while since we've seen a Rome, right, as an MVP. So I guess Rome lives do matter, but apparently it takes 4 days for it to matter to get to this point. But again, all jokes aside, Salah, this is the play, right? He had so much setup, his control, the amount of times that the opponent was stunned. I wish we had that stat as well because he definitely was on point.
The bravery, the confidence for him to actually just dive in and try to control anyone in front of him, making sure that no one can move so that his farm can do whatever he needs to do. That's the beauty of playing a very good roam. Maybe something that Cloud can start to learn from.
Yeah.
Oh, shots fired.
Just kidding, Cloud, just kidding.
All right, but as we go into this one, I mean, game two, if you're India right now, I mean, just trying to bounce back in some fashion, like, they did a good job of not dying as much.
Yeah.
I think that does speak volumes of their play, because if they were getting blasted out and they were kind of just like, oh, let's just continue to just force fights, they were still playing within the team, right? But I do think that also you need to break that mold in some fashion. Maybe you split push. Maybe you look for some sort of gank attempt, because right now they were just huddling back in their base and being pushed back. They never actually tried to go for some sort of assault.
Here's the thing, right? It's quite difficult for us to actually know, is this the right time to go out? Is it safe right now to go out? Because they're blind. There's no vision on the map. They actually did take 1 or 2 spiraling vision, but it did not last for too long because it was closed down again. I think all they need to do is actually send someone on the side lane at least to maybe try to keep a pressure there so that they will naturally know, okay, someone will definitely try to defend that side, so we have more breathing space on this side.
It's always about the drop as well, right? There's just not a setup coming in for the side of the Team India. You have a Zhuangzi, you have an Ata. Not a lot of proactiveness can be achieved coming in for those heroes. But if you're proactive enough to actually find out which venue we're actually utilizing for this event, do check out Petaling Jaya with the Marriott Hotel. Thank you so much, Marriott Hotel, for hosting and having us for the 2026 Asian Games Esports Qualifiers for Honor of Kings. We bid our thank you, and we are definitely enjoying it here at this hotel.
Definitely enjoying it here, but I would enjoy it a little bit more if India could find a way to come back into this series, right? I think that even after that last one, it wasn't the worst thing. I mean, definitely Laos was in control, and the way that they were able to do it speaks volumes more about Laos more than anything else. But India going into this one, again, just a couple of picks. Again, the Zhuangzi, not a huge fan of that one, especially into the Laos lineup there. But they shore those up, they'll have a much better chance here.
I think, honestly, if they go back to what we've been seeing in the first 2 days, which is the first few picks are always Liampo or Zhangfei or Liampo. It's always like that. I think that would be a good start. Go back to the drawing board and start back from square one, because that is actually a very solid start. Because if they're going with Zhuangzi is a very reactive hero, a very defensive one. We can say that you can almost not start a team fight with a Zhuangzi. You have to wait for a team fight to happen, then you can be a proper Zhuangzi. I think they have to force something from their own side instead of trying to react to Laos.
Yeah, that's why coming in towards this second game, you did see that India going back once again towards the blue side. I think before we go into the second phase of the draft, on the 4th and 5th pick, they might want to select a rather proactive roamer, something like a Mapu, Liampo, Zhangfei in the first phase before going into the second phase. It might give them more proactive approach than what you're mentioning just now.
Yeah, and actually, just right when we were going to the players' camp, we just saw, I didn't catch the player's name, but one of the players from Laos was actually practicing a bit of a TikTok dance, and it seems like every single team that wins in the Asia Games qualifier, they're forced to do a TikTok dance with Mara, so I think that he might be warming up, but are they getting the horse ahead of the cart in this one? I mean, are they already calling GG? What's going on here?
They're feeling confident for sure. They were happy with their performance, and you know what? Rightfully they should be because their gameplay is clean. They know what they're doing is right, and the textbook gameplay that they were showing is something to be proud of. So you know he can practice some of the dances. Maybe he want to dance after this if they actually manage to secure this game, Sagi.
Well, the first thing they have to secure is a different lineup coming in for Team India. It's gonna be the Dolia being locked in here,
Ooh.
coming in from the side of the Indian roamer. And Team Laos, back to basics here. If it's not broken, why fix it? Once again, Channel and also Ukutachibana will be their priority on the red side.
And it also sets things up for the future, right? You're also not only are trying to win this game in this series, but at the same time, you don't want to show too much, right? The other teams are watching. They know that Laos is 1-0, and if they're like, hey, we keep going back to the Chano and the Yukio, those bans are probably going to be there, and Laos then will have another trump card. They'll have other alternatives to kind of show, but they don't need to show their hand now.
But
Yeah.
I'm liking what Team India is proposing in this upcoming draft here. This Dolia Dune combination gives you sufficient early game power to actually counteract against the jungle pick that has been locked in by the side of Wheeler Cone's Ukutachi Bana. And with the addition of the Xiao Qiao, that's a very comfortable third three picks I'm seeing coming in from Team India.
And go the in Instagram
You
game
know,
and
I like it a lot
support Team
because they have
India
Dolia that can reset.
after reacting in the
Dune is
post,
already a
guys.
very
Link in
tanky hero,
description.
so they have all three. They have burst, tankiness, and they have a support to always heal them and also reset any important skills that they want.
Yeah.
So the other two heroes, you know what? They can take anything that they want. I'm pretty sure everything will be okay because they have a solid first starting tree. Having this one more hero that is gonna be banned out is gonna be a idea. That's the high amount of respect that they're showing towards this hero.
Yeah, it could also put a lot of damper in terms of this India squad, right? Because you know that if the Dune goes in there and then he gets targeted by that stun, he's going to have a tough time. Plus, you have the Chaos Cinder on top. It's like a nice little 1-2 combination that can really burn him down quickly.
Yeah, exactly, right? And moving on towards the second phase of the draft, right? You can start to see
The
the
draft
direction is actually
interesting
very
right now.
good. Heroes that
They
can
pick some
actually
good
engage with
heroes.
the backline. Like Laos, they took the advice coming in from their matchup yesterday against Kazakhstan. The Dharma, the
Yeah.
DRNG, reminiscing picks, you know, that actually stalled the game, especially when it was always against Fulham on that channel itself, because these two heroes can actually go toe-to-toe with the channel. Teamfight-wise, the DRNG can match the output, and then the teamfight risk of the channel against the Dharma is pretty high.
Yep, definitely. And we do know that there's a very solid ban. Charlotte has been picked up by Laos, which is a very good hero for them to play around with because it's a flexible hero. You can almost do almost anything with Charlotte. You can never go wrong with it. The last two heroes coming in from India is going to be the Clash lane as well as the Farm lane. I think they do need a hero that has a lot of late game capability because the first three hero that they have right now from India is very much focused on the early game.
Yeah, but Laos has the last pick. I mean, the Charlotte is one thing. Pretty tried and true. I think you'll be fine in the top lane. Foods is going to be there to potentially lock it down. But to show you, to kind of round out this India squad, you've got range, you got the high-speed damage, and you're going to set yourself up for the late game. But with India's roster, are they going to see a late game?
I feel like it really falls on the hands of Harsh, Ainu, and also the Roamer coming in for this specific cause. If they really fail the 3v3 in towards the mid lane, that late game is gonna be so darn hard to reach. Shoyu and Fuzi, two heroes that need so much time, so many items to actually be useful going into that later game. And for Team Laos here, they're also drafting a very strong mid 3v3. It comes down to
ये
which
draft better है
side
यार,
of the
ये
mid
draft
jungle
बहुत
can
ज़्यादा ही
win it
better
for
है.
their team. Then they get
Finally
paid
कुछ तो अच्छा
into
मिला
the
इन
ultimate
लोगों
late game that you mentioned about Holler.
All right, well, thank you so much, Sagi. As we get underway, game two, can India bounce back? Must-win game. They got to get themselves the W, not only in this game, but in
जीतना
the
ही
series
पड़ेगा,
to
नहीं
give
तो मुश्किल
themselves
है.
a chance as they are on the bottom of Group C, being at 0-2.
I know I said that they actually need a very late game hero, but I did not expect for them to actually go with Fuzi and Shoyue both at the same time. So now both of these heroes are very power hungry. They really need a lot of time to scale up. So it all depends on how the Roma and the jungle from India are gonna try to really get Polkam. He's very low. Is he gonna be safe? He is.
Yeah.
He's okay.
He's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. You were making me more nervous than Falcom.
I was nervous.
Yeah, yeah.
I was nervous.
Zinbai is good
But
actually.
just being able to stay alive, I mean, if he gave up first strike, that would have been a bit of a disaster here. But, I mean, going to the India lineup, whenever you're
सनी
down,
लाइव स्ट्रीम को एक बार
I
शेयर
feel
कर
like
देना.
teams will pivot more towards an early game lineup, and it seems like they've gone the other way. The flash away by Compang, he will be fine, as opposed to like a late game, because you have an early game. It gives you a head start, and you start winning earlier, and you're able to potentially close games out.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts on that?
Um, yeah, it's very interesting for me as well because it is right quite the opposite of what we're used to. I think it's a very different approach, or maybe we could say that it's a surprise factor. You know what? They're gonna expect us to play an early game because we are losing. Maybe right now we have to go with late game instead. But it has been proven just now, Holler, that India actually managed to defend for quite a while. Maybe also thanks to Laos for not forcing that out. But still, they actually managed to extend the game. So maybe with a more late game composition, maybe they can really make good use of that late game phase.
Yeah, I mean, the best way to extend the game is having wave clear. You have Harsh on the Xiao.
Yeah, true.
I mean, Ashish is not the greatest in terms of
क्या
wave
लग
clear.
रहा है अभी
Slow
तेरे को देख के
down.
Yeah, I
मैचेस?
mean, yeah. I probably would have preferred one of those, but
Yeah.
obviously they were looking more for that team fight control because this is also the problem with the Dolia, right? You have Celestial Melody, but what else is she providing? Yeah, you have the kiddie pool, if you will, of just healing that she provides, but you don't really have that monster team fight like a Raging Sea from Salat.
True. So this fight really revolves around the presence of Akshat and working together with Ayush. They really have to make it work. They really have to abuse the presence of Celestial Melody and Unruly Blade
Abuse.
to compensate this lack of a total crowd control, if you will. And I think that's a good thing. So it all depends on the execution at this point because the heroes has already been picked. They really have to make do with what they have.
Yeah. And this is also why the Dune Dolia combination is just so strong, right? Having
Exactly.
that wind slash plus the unruly blade to get on out, assuming that you weren't already aggressive with it.
Yeah.
Having that secondary one is actually a huge factor for this one.
True.
But this again, like just gotta hold the fort. You can't just get pushed down. Like Laos last time, they were able to control the map. If India, if that happens to them, this lineup just
मेरा वॉइस
crumbles.
तो आ
But
रही
they
है.
actually find Akshaj. All he was trying to do was walk down the river, and he gets smashed.
He wants to go to his own territory. It's water. It's Portolia. But yeah, he didn't realize there were three people there. He was trying to give some vision to his teammate, which is very nice. But again, he was actually quite far away from Ayush. I think he really need to rotate more with Ayush, be much more closer to him, and clear the jungle with him. There's nothing wrong with that.
Laos
Look at
again
how
get the
Laos
first
gets
kill,
the
guys.
pickoff. Akshaj is down, right? And yes, he's going to be joined because the respawn timers are so quick.
Yeah.
But Laos gets something out of it. They stole the pheasant, and now they got a little bit of action. It looks like Salat is on
Okay,
the
nice
run.
one
He's going
kill.
to be targeted, and he
Nice.
too will get destroyed. Akshaj coming back from the grave, gets the revenge tour.
Great move coming in from India. They really do know how to punish if Laos is actually overextending. But look how
ये
brave
गेम तो देखने वाला
Hokap
होगा
is.
मेरे को लग
Hokap's
रहा
gonna
है.
go back. And it seems like Ayush managed to get the title with no problem whatsoever. Now, the problem with Dun usually is that he has not enough mobility. Once he goes in, everyone will run away.
True.
So his basic attack is short. He's a melee hero. So that's why he needs more Unruly Blade. But he can only use it twice. So let's see what's gonna happen here.
Oh, Harsh actually has to flash away. He stays
Holy
alive.
shit.
That was very close. The Blazing Brilliance. This is also something they need to respect. Sudazai's damage, if he gets on top of you and you're, again, like Ayush, when you're going in that one-way ticket with that Unruly Blade on the Dune, you can potentially get burned up by Sudazai.
Oh, I agree. So Tisai is going to be able to really, really melt down anything in front of her. Him, sorry. He was a hero. He's a but the shield on Anzila though is very good because it has crowd control immunity essence to it. But it seems like they're going to try to steal the Azure Golem here, but they're going to pull back.
Yeah, Laos being
I think
aggressive,
अभी थोड़ा
you see
better
that's
कर
gonna
गए. They are
smash
focusing on
tower,
this
but they're
XP
not gonna
lane.
be able to follow up
Try
with
to
Ashish.
take
A
down.
little too tanky at this point, plus he's under the tower. A little bit too much risk for Laos to take now.
I feel that maybe India is sort of on the right track, except that they really need to focus more on their economical situation because in terms of gold, they are 1,500 gold behind Laos. They need to probably do a lot more gold sharing technique or maybe just rotate together and try to pick off any heroes from Laos.
It's the little steals that are happening, right? And I mean, even if you saw you up, like if he's pushed you back so that you're not able to take the lane, and that's where Laos has been able to get the edge. And now the dance off
Oh,
the
nice
power
one.
gradation is going to be used on the two. They find Harsh.
ये गलत
Instantly
caught up
deleted.
था
They
भाई.
find Akshaj as well. Laos doing everything
Pocket
right.
में
They,
kill दिया.
an amazing gank.
Amazing start over there for sure. Kampung actually managed to start with the power gradation, very effective. They're going to start to destroy. Because of that team fight, they can get this objective. This is what Laos has been doing. Win one small team fight, they will always start to focus on, okay, where do we go
Exactly.
now? Okay, mid tower, now, go now. So I think that's the best thing that any other team can also try to learn from them. It's very textbook. It's the right thing to do, the
No,
best one.
100%, 100%. Like getting kills, turning it into some sort of objective. That's the edge. And now they're up about what, 2.4K at this point. This is a squad that's actually finding the minor things. It's
Yeah.
like walking down the street, picking up, you know, like
Yeah.
coins that just happen to be dropped out, but you're gaining in the end. Sorry, that's a terrible analogy.
No, no, but it means I get it. We all have that one people in our group of friends, right? Oh, look at this! I'm
It's
gonna pick it
this
up.
guy.
It is. Oh, really? But they're gonna be grouping up top. It seems like they're gonna try to surprise anyone who might have gonna be making a little bit of mistake here. But it's okay for now. India is also trying to be very careful. But look at Ashish.
Yeah, he just knew. Like, it just was a little too obvious, and now come the reinforcements. Everybody from both ends looking to just kind of skirmish, at least in this top side. But Laos, again, there are only so many brushes you can be in, right?
True.
So they're going to check out almost every single one.
Sure, a very safe move, definitely. But it seems like Blazing Brilliance is going to be used. Ayush, you got to go down. A very right move coming in from Lau. Blazing Brilliance, the right timing. That's what you were talking about. You say about Unruly Blade going in, and then he's going to get melted. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, he wasn't able to get on. I mean, the Chaos Cinder, and then just you have just enough stuns with that Blazing Brilliance to just burn him down. He hasn't had his moment because of the fact that the Laos just penalizing it. Now the flash away, Harsh. Oh, he's just trying to run for the hills. He's not able to do so. Vilacone taking him down.
Vilacone is super confident with Ukyo once more. We know how well he plays this hero. Look at the shots the Wild Hunt is going to be trying to use by Aino. Aino has been shooting non-stop today, and I think it's going to be very painful once he gets all of his itemizations. But as of now, he has Eternity Blade and Shadow Reaper, not yet with the Daybreaker. He really need all of his items.
Yeah, Raging Sea completely whiffing on this, but the Blazing Brilliance doing some work. Ayush will just barely
बहुत
stay
बढ़िया खेल रहा है
alive.
for
It
now,
literally
but
took a village just to
still,
ensure that he didn't get taken down there. But
I don't know why they are
I
not
know,
holding
right?
their
It just
towers
show
now.
you he's not going to be
Still, we have
quick
a
until like the
hope
16-minute
that India
mark.
gonna come back.
The way the game is going, I don't know if we're going to see a 16-minute mark.
I agree. It all depends on how they're going to be defending long enough to give it the right amount of time for Ashish and Ainul to get all of their itemizations. We do know that the Futsa is going to be a lot more effective if he gets all his Glacial Buckler, his Sparkforge Dagger, his Doomsday. But right now, it seems like Ashish is actually going with Rigid Charge first. Gonna be a lot more crowd control before he gets his damage in.
Okay, interesting, interesting. If anything, Ashish, I feel like he needs to be split pushing more. Like, if he dies, right? But at least you're creating a little bit of space. Somebody has to react to that movement.
Yes.
You need to slow this game down. Right now, you're getting pushed. The Raging Sea finding the right little target, and it looks like they're going to do a little bit of burst, but they're not enough to take him down. And now they're on the defensive side, and now Kapeng just barely getting out of this one.
I agree with you. Actually, this is what they've been doing a little bit wrong from Ashish. I think he's playing in the rhythm of Laos. They need to force a different rhythm so that Laos has to react to it, so that they have a lot more breathing space at the back. But again, all the resources coming in from India's side has been taken away from Laos, and that's going to be affecting India for a very long time. They have to do something now, or else it will be the same as the game before.
Look at how they're just waiting in the back. They're fighting for farm right now. This is not a great situation. This is a losing situation. Like, again, this is why the split push. I know it's risky. I know somebody's going to die. You're thinking, oh, I've just died so many times. But there's no chance. And now the Raging Sea locking it down. The Blazing Brilliance almost finding
Again,
out.
they're taking the wrong fights. I don't know what happened.
Committed, though. And now India will survive. But at what cost?
Yeah, at what cost? Exactly. I think they really have to do something. They have to go out. They have to send Ashish to do something, or else they're forced to play around the tempo and the rhythm of Laos. It's 8,000 gold in front from Laos. For Laos, it's going to be a lot of problems for India very soon. And we haven't seen a lot of combo coming in from Ayush and Akshat. Actually, they were trying, but every time they do it, exactly like you said, the Blazing Brilliance punish him non-stop.
Yeah, non-stop. And that's why Sudasai is just the way that he's been able to just be on top of you. He's always been in those team fights. When Laos is looking to take something, he's generally there as Johnny on the spot. But if you're looking, again, if Ashish isn't going to do it, Ayush needs to be doing it. Somebody needs to be split pushing. Somebody needs to be creating a little bit of space. Because look, all 5 members, they're sticking together. They're singing, they've got a campfire out. They're singing
How
Kumbaya,
the
but they're
fuck
not
they
gaining any
miss this
farm.
Lucknow? I don't
But
know.
actually, it's not wrong to do this if they have heroes like Zhangfei. They have Armor the Outburst to actually
Right.
turn the game around with one skill, or Dharma maybe. But right now they're going with Dolia and Dun, so maybe sticking 5 might not be the best. It all depends on their composition too, right? But look at how Ashish comes back to the mid lane. He's gonna try to lock him in.
Yeah, he's trying to go
Okay,
in. It looks like
nice.
it's a little
Nice
too
one,
far.
one kill.
Compaq under the tower, but that's a little bit of space
Harshal,
created, and you're kind of thinking, was that the right play? Well, they still got the bottom T3 in the end.
I agree. We can see on how the dragon is still there, but he's way up front. He's trying to tank the damage for everyone, but where is his teammate?
Yeah, nowhere. I mean, they're going to hide under this tower, but the top T3, they've got the vanguards, right?
भाई
They're
देख
able to easily take
commentary
this one
भी
down,
बहुत
and now
खतरनाक हो रहा है
somehow
भाई.
they need to hold here the last T3 mid, a chip in a chair,
I don't know,
because
but
they need
to be
comeback.
honest, India का
So
teams
I
against
think right
बहुत
now
tough
at
team
least
मिला है in
Ashish has already
this
proven something that he can
like
actually
क्या
tank
बोलूं
a lot of damage
in
from the
this
side of Laos.
tournament
So
group
if he can actually
stage
go to the front,
they
but
get a lot
it
of
all
hard
goes down to
opponents.
whether or not India can actually follow up with any move that Ashish is going to be doing afterwards. We've seen him using Sage Might towards Charlotte perfectly on time inside the tower, really punishing Charlotte down. And Ainu already has Sun Chaser. I think that's quite early, but maybe for safety reasons as well.
Yeah, and it looks like I think for India, you're looking at how to win this game, right? You gotta lock down Buckham. Buckham has been so good. His mobility, the way that he's
No
always on the
words,
back, is
guys.
so difficult to find him. If he's able to lock him down and the rest of India are there to burst him, you're gonna have a good time because that should change generally the dynamic of the team fight, and Laos is gonna be a little bit more hesitant to go in.
But Pocum's positioning is
Yeah.
so good. Having Sahala protecting him as well, we do know that the Raging Sea is something that everyone wants to avoid. But again, India is not trying to take too much of a risk as well. Like what you said, they need
I
to
don't know
send
what happened.
Ashish out, or maybe someone, maybe Ayush can work as well. But can they do it right now? Maybe it's too late because all the towers have going down now.
Well, you got to play to your win conditions, right? And just sticking around where you're literally fighting for 2 creeps right now with 4 people, right?
Yeah.
This is the lead will constantly grow because Laos is taking every sort of resource across the map.
Yeah.
They've taken your jungle, they've taken their own, and they're just backing up. Now the Raging Sea, that's gonna whiff. That's actually his 2nd whiff of the day. So if I'm gonna say, give this team an A plus, I can't because he's missed, 2 of them. So probably like an A minus for Salah.
Yeah, he's best time. He's best
They
time.
look a
They
zone
tried
out
to
there,
steal the
Sonic.
keep. They also tried to steal
Look
the.
how
They went
they
all
zone
in.
out the
Yeah, they
game.
went all in, but Ayush is gonna go all out as he gets taken down. Vilicon making him pay. He decides to go, hey, you want to try to go for this tire? Not gonna happen. Sages might lock him down at least Compang. He's gonna be locked in, slowing the attempt to approach, but they get the Raging Sea, and Ainul is down for the count. They're looking to clean up as Vilicon out heals. It gets harsh on this one, and now Laos, all they need are the minions. Ashish into this mid lane. He's trying to at least deal with the minions, but he's gonna have to dodge some of these members here as he does go for the minions. This is the play, but it looks like Bocom just want to end this game.
No.
The soaring signal on, they've got the crystal,
It looks
and
like
it
a oh
looks like
fuck.
Laos are gonna take
One
the
shot the
game
stab.
and the series.
It
We
felt
get
like
what's
a
up.
repeat of
India
what we saw in game
lose
number
करते हुए
1,
इधर पे
where
third game in a
everything
row, guys.
just slowly slid
I
out of
don't know.
control coming in from Team India. They
It's
wanted
very
to
sad
play
to
towards the team
saw, but
fight,
they
push
did
for
their
it,
best to
but
be
they were
honest,
just
according
not
to their
allowed to.
heroes
Laos,
and
by
some
repeating
mistakes they made. Okay, Candy is
Laos, by
there.
repeating their
Harshil is
success coming
there.
in
Sorry,
forward
I mean
into Tachibana in this
Akshat
game,
also
they
there.
managed to scavenge all the
Yo,
jungle
Regret,
resource,
what's up?
making sure that the lead was ever growing, making sure that, hey, you want to play Futsu, you want to play Shoya, but you just need so much time to farm on those heroes.
I agree very much because they were playing very
And they
very
get the
safe,
tough
I might
opponent.
add.
रे.
I think also because the amount
They
of
get,
respite
I
that
mean,
they
group
had
stage में बहुत
against
tough opponent
maybe
India को मिला है. I
but
don't know
also
why.
because of the composition. But all the heroes are really power hungry,
Yeah.
really needs all the golds first before they can actually do something.
Laos,
Salah
sponsored
is ready
by.
to go. Mara, get in there, right? The TikTok dance is underway. We're going to see that one, and every single win usually ends up with a TikTok dance, and it looks like the Laos squad are actually looking forward to it.
I mean, who doesn't
Fuck.
want to make a TikTok video with Mara, right? I mean, all the players so
क्या
far
ही
throughout the
बोलूं मैं.
series, they've been, I mean, They've been eyeing for that chance, you know? And so far, I think Laos has had
That
a
was
pretty good
sick. That was
improvement thus
yeah,
far from
bro.
their previous game yesterday, where they were a bit rushing to end the game and everything.
I
Towards the
think
end,
Crowley का तो
the
थोड़ा
games
better
were
होता
very much
मेरे
cleaner
हिसाब से
compared to
तो.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Textbook, exactly like
Textbook,
what Holder said,
textbook.
because they don't want to force anything unnecessary, and I think that makes so much sense. That's what we've been seeing in the region that we're much more familiar with,
अब
right?
मैं एक
Trying to
घंटा क्या
figure
करूँ?
something out and really just try to see
किसका
what is
मैच
the
में
strategy
रिकॉर्ड
to
करूँ
do.
भाई?
If it's not, just pull back together. The unity, the one-minded move that they were showing
If I
is
go, I play
just so
better.
good.
Yeah, even me too.
Patience. That's like the
Patience.
biggest thing, right?
Yeah.
Nobody was looking to kind of force things out. We know when we're up, we're like, okay, what is the right moment? They had that bucket list that Sagi had, of all the questions that they need to answer, right? And once they do, then they were looking to go. But in this case, they knew that, hey, now is not the time. Let's just wait for our moment to fully end this one.
It's difficult, right? When you look over to the side of India's draft itself, you have a Dolia and also a Dun. You want to be looking for an aggressive early game invade, but it relies so much on 3v3
क्या
compatibility.
बोला? I know,
But
I
on
know.
your
I don't
side,
have any
mate,
words, dude.
you have a forever farming Fuzi and Shoyu that doesn't really amp up that 3v3 that you're looking for. So it makes it the jungle invasion, the jungle 5v5s much more difficult coming in from Team India's side. If they fail the early game, it's just a forever scaling
कुछ
slope
भी बोल
waiting
दो.
for the two side lanes to come
है
out
ना?
on top. But it's
Easy to
just
say that
scaling,
it's always.
just
No,
like it was
भाई वो
yesterday.
खेल चुका है
Early
इंडिया
coming
के
in the game,
साइड
he
से.
Yeah.
had all the items in the world, but he
Yeah.
got
तो
caught
मैं
by
निगलेक्ट वो
Lux.
खेल चुका है. जो
There's
बोल
so
रहा
many
है
bad
सैनिक
lines
लामा
from
already
Lux.
played for India.
He's busy trying to find the bad line. That's his job,
वो
right?
खेल चुका है
Don't
नेशनल टीम
is
से.
busy trying to protect
Can't
his own
hold
bad
the
line.
gold
That's his
tower, yeah, bro.
doing, dude.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I
I
think
don't know.
if Futse was actually swapped with a Ata, maybe it could be a lot better because Ata is a hero that doesn't really require an item to work, such as Futse. So I do think that maybe if they fix the draft a little bit more, they would be able to do better. Although this means that they won't be able to go to the main event anymore.
I think so too. Judging from the score right now, India sits in their Group C with a 0-3 overall score. So
Yeah.
they have lost their chance to make it to the main event nor the last chance stage by being third place here. So valiant effort so far. They still have one series coming up for Team
Yeah.
India. So they can definitely show their growth later on if they can actually find that momentum here. Because I feel that series itself coming in against Team Laos, they weren't losing based on mechanical skills. They were losing as unity,
Yeah.
as the macro value here. How to match up against 5v5s, how to match up in the jungle territory. They were just not up there yet.
Yeah, they're going to learn a lot of lessons. I think that in the biggest piece is that they had a lot of late game monsters, but they were like, okay, are we going to see the late game? And you need to draft around that. The other heroes need to be a little bit earlier so that you do get that spike, you get that space, because Einol is your man. He's the guy. He got like almost 12k farm, which is quite formidable considering the position that we're at. But you look at the other side, I mean, Villicone, Kampang, Falcom, all of these guys got like 10k and up. Like, it's very difficult to fight when you're the only guy in the relative ballpark of these people, but they've got 3 members.
Yep, so what happened previously is that they already lost towards Vietnam and Kazakhstan and also Laos. So this shows that they will have no more chance after this. But the fact that the progress, the growth from the first game that India showed for the first day, and right now the itemization coming in from India, right, from Ainul himself, he actually had all the items that he need. That's what Ashoyu has to have. And probably Hollard, I think, and Sagi,
I was not here at the
they actually
qualifiers
funnel
are going.
every goal
Does not matter
towards
if you can't
Shoyue.
qualify.
So
Chill
with
for
that
the
in mind,
upcoming then.
maybe
One
Fuzi was
matches are
supposed to be
there,
sent
bro.
out and do something else instead of trying to help him farm at the bases now.
I think it makes sense, right? You want the Fuzi to be like the secondary carry in the late game, making sure that he was this unstoppable tank with the spell to intuition to get that damage reduction. But that's the thing that really pains me. You have a Shoryuken that's insanely well fed and full itemized, slotted out, but just the Raging Sea coming out of Sahalaf was just too darn
For
perfect. And
Sahala.
make sure this Shoryuken in the late game, he had no show.
Also, I have played for the
They were
HD
just
team. We
showing
didn't
off,
have the
right? And
6,000. Yes,
all of
exactly.
them, they had a decent amount of mobility to just play around. Villicone was almost playing with his food and finding him. Einol is, again, okay, the idea of having the Dune, the foods there is this meat shield protecting them, great. But when you're losing and now you don't have that vision and you're able to get jumped on and get ambushed, Laos made them pay.
I agree, and the way Laos play again, they are not gonna force anything. their style of gameplay sort of made India has no other ways to move around as well because of the textbookness. Because they know that Laos is not gonna be not gonna force dive into the crystal as well. So maybe that contributed towards why India really cannot react to anything and really punish them when they really wanted to punish. Except for that one moment where Ashish uses Sage Might towards Charlotte.
Yeah, we saw that, right? Like, it will actually punish the Kampang really well because Kampang was like overly aggressive. And you can start to see for the damage charge itself, that's a 78.5 thousand damage dealt coming in from the Shoryue from Team India, which was quite a lot of damage. If you can allow the Shoryue to survive with the double front line that you drafted, which is the Fuzi and the Dun, with a relatively okay gold level set 2 to 3,000 instead of 8,000, then maybe Team India has a shot of equalizing the series. But this is the fact that you cannot drop like 2 weak lanes on the side lane and expect it to actually flourish in the mid game, because you're just going to be consistently pressed in those early to mid game skirmishes.
And I also kind of look at Ayush in the jungle on this dune where you want to be aggressive, the gold sharing to start, but you're always like potentially threatening an unruly play. You don't have to go in, but you always want to be there. This is where you're doing those damage. Like if you look at some of the other scenes, the wind slashes are constant. They're constantly putting damage on, and usually they're taking the most damage and doing quite a bit as well.
And this also goes to a question here, right? I understand that Aino is the main mechanical player in the Team India, but sometimes you wonder, like, okay, when you have a player constantly
Asking
swapping roles
to
back and
idol
forth,
JP,
is it
call
really
who sir?
beneficial for the team?
Oh
Because if
lol,
one
अरे वो मेरे
player
को बोल
is
रहा
able to
है.
focus on
अरे you
one
know
role,
this
you can
guy,
see
Regret.
for the farm
वो हम
itself,
लोग के साथ
it's
खेलता
really
था.
depending, like, okay, if it's a mechanical hero like Hansen or Arlie, we'll pass it over
Call
to
अभी
him.
नहीं,
If
अभी
it's
नहीं.
not so mechanical, we will swap back to the original role. So maybe
रुक जा, मैं
for
बोलता हूँ,
Team
रुक जा मैं.
India, it's about focusing on their own role, focusing on the mastery of a certain playstyle.
Probably because it's hard to see growth when you get thrown around.
Correct.
From this role to that role. So I do agree with Sagi. I think it's also better if they can just focus on one and maybe increase hero pools so that they have a lot more other
Increase
options
तो
for the
hero
people.
pool increase करना ही पड़ेगा. ये तो मेरे को भी
I
मालूम
think,
है.
yeah, there's a lot of improvements for sure. But again, I just want to put it out there that India's gameplay from the day one, they took all the way to game number 3, have been showing a lot of improvements. The fact that they really know how to punish, they tried their best, but every initiation has been started by Kampung is just so scary.
Yeah, it's just so scary, right? The splash radiation flash to find a knockup on towards Harsh, and by this moment already a 3,000 goalie generated. Ayush making that critical mistake caused the goalie to be slipping away from the hands of Team India. It was still okay, but at the minute 11, it's already a 9,000 goalie. Yes, Kampang, we know for a fact that sometimes he goes overboard, but when the goalie is so darn wide open between these two teams, you can start to see, like, sure, Idol has all the gold in the world, but when your teammates are all backing up and you get caught by this raging sea, all that 12,000 gold, the highest net worth in the team, gets washed down the drain.
Yeah, I mean, why don't they just clone Ino 4 times? Are they stupid? No, I'm just kidding. I mean, they were obviously there's almost so much farm that they can get on the map, right? And I think that if we're going back into this one, I mean, Vilacone is going to be your MVP. The way that he was having that impact, his jump-ins, every single time, it was a very like solid move. But he also stayed alive. I mean, he didn't die a single time. That speaks volumes, of course, about Vilacone here.
Yeah, he keeps on poking with all the skill set that he has. And actually, it's very hard to be confident with Ukyo, you know?
Yep.
The skill set is very straightforward. There's no way for you to trick the enemy side because people know what you're gonna do. You're gonna go through the front, you're gonna scratch a little bit, and then you're gonna dive to the back. I think the way he does it is just so confusing, so elusive. It almost feels like because he's very quick with what he's doing, and he reads out the distance so well.
It's about being efficient with his pick, right? And for Vilacone, well-deserved MVP because he did show us back-to-back games on this pick itself on how to win those early game skirmishes, making it so that he's proving to us that, hey, this is why Ukyo Tachibana is one of the most prioritized jungle in the Asian Games version.
Yeah, and also you got to put some respect on his name, right? I think even when you're talking about like Laos and just in general, Ukyo, definitely somebody you got to be careful about, but you're also looking at the potential play of this team. The way that they're able to kind of dismantle they looked like pedestrian compared to Laos. I mean, India didn't look this bad against some of the other squads. They had their moments, but this is the time where Laos completely shut them down with their play.
Yeah, very hard crushing here coming in for side of Team India, knowing for the fact that they tried their absolute best. They want to adapt to the global scene and also the Asian Games qualifiers, but speed is just not really there yet. They need more time to grow
Yeah.
to really come up as one of the emerging regions for the HOK esports global scene.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that they will be able to progress more and more because this is the first official time that they actually appear
Correct.
up on the stage and play. So that's gonna give it a lot of progress, right? They really need to do something with it. But sure, everyone needs to learn slowly. I think that every team has their own pacing.
I'm sure of that because
Yeah.
like no team is always gonna be down there. There's always like a progressive step that you
Yeah.
actually need to take to further improve. Maybe today it's because of drafting. Maybe it's because of like the early game
The role.
priorities, the roles, like the mechanics. All these can be improved. It's not all bottleneck that keeps stopping you from growing.
Yeah.
But for them, it's just experience pouring into this. And I hope for Team India, you don't get discouraged by this because this is only the start. There's still so much more to come for Honor of Kings Esports.
Yeah, it's very, you know what I mean? It's early.
Yes, it's
right?
early.
And
yeah.
for us to judge based on that is not fair.
Correct.
Some of these teams have been playing for literally years, right? And I think that exposure and getting into and playing against some of these other teams, you're going to learn so much.
Correct.
And they're going to be much better. Obviously, there are things that are around the corner that they need to be worried about, but I think that this is a bit of a wake-up call and being like, okay, these are the things that we need to shore up. There are some big gaps. Let's fill those in at least now.
This is why we kept on talking about progress, right? Between
Yeah.
game one, game two, or maybe sometimes within that one match itself, such as yesterday, we saw such a big difference from game one, and then they turn around to game two and game three, the way they play, the way they rotate. So everyone have their own pacing. So you know what? We give them time. We give them time, and this is the first appearance.
And it's like how we celebrate the growth of Mongolia as well, right? Yes, Mongolia, sadly, they couldn't make it to the main event, just like what India is right now. But it's about the growth. It's like, yeah, you're gonna lose. You're not like equal to the other teams coming in towards this event. But it's about how you experience the stage, how you take those experience, those losses, those setbacks, and put it into your memory and bring it back to your own regions. Like, hey guys, this is what I learned, and I'm gonna absolutely crush it and improve myself to become a better team. And so far, I think it has been showing so far, especially Mongolia and India. And I hope the next event that they come back into, maybe in the future, they come back stronger.
Yeah. It's all about that life lesson outside, the
Yeah.
real world experience that you're getting.
The cinema.
I mean, sometimes it's a little bit of
Cinema.
other cinemas and other types of movies. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
But as we go in, I mean, I think that it's going to really help them because you're going to get exposed to some of the, again, just better teams and those skills and strategies.
Wait. I'm hearing from Mara right now. She says the Tuk Tuk dance is ready with the representative coming in from the side of Team Laos here. So if you do, Mara, we are pretty excited for your interview coming in with the Team Laos representative. So Mara, if you may.
Another domination from Team Laos. Congratulations, Sahalat.
Thank you.
Earlier, you mentioned that you were really happy with your game number one. If you take a look at your composition, you had a lot of damage threats across the board, and that allowed your team to go on early and often. And so, how well was the composition, in your opinion, from the expectation versus the results?
ตั้งแต่ต้นเกมนะทีมพวกโตแล้วก็พวกโตนะเริ่มตีกับเจ้าไว้ก่อนแล้วก็มีสิทธิ์ที่ว่าจะจบเกมไว้ก่อนพวกโตเบิ่งจังไดว่าเกมนั้นมันสิจบไว้นะตามแนวคิดแล้วก็ตัวจริงอ่ะมันจบไว้ส่ำใด
ตอนแรกแมนพวกเขาก็วางแผนตั้งแต่ต้นเกมแล้วว่าสามารถจบไว้แล้วเพราะฮีโร่เขาเล่นต้นเกมค่อนข้างที่จะแบบมี impact สูงและตอนแรกนะว่าสิจบ10นาทีแต่ว่าเขาเจ้าแบบบ่สู้เลยแบบอยู่แต่ในป้อมแล้วบ่สู้เลยก็เลยแบบว่าจบซะเบิ่งคือจบซะ
In the first place the team expected to end earlier than this but however the other
इंडिया
team,
का हालत क्यों ऐसा है
they-
पता है
he said
because they are
don't
focusing
fight
on the
back and
basic
they
thing
have to push and then tearing the other team so they have to gain early fight and then they want to end it early as possible as they plan.
Your plan was to end it as early as possible. Now,
obviously bro they had the
Game
late
number
game
two.
heroes
During the
उस टाइम पे जाके वो क्या करेगा
it
बंदा
seemed like you were so comfortable. In fact, in front of the camera, you were doing a little bit of a dance. So was that through confidence or comfortability? How was the team's mood coming into today's game?
ตอนแรกพวกเขาคิดว่าเออแบบมันก็บ่ได้แบบเบิ่งคือตึงหลายแบบเกมมันชิลหลายก็เลยว่าผ่อนคลายแล้วก็พวกเขาก็ค่อนข้างที่จะมั่นใจว่าประสบการณ์พวกเขาหลายกว่าก็เลยแบบเพื่อให้แบบว่าเกมมันบ่ตึงเครียดหลายแล้วก็เป็นไปตามแผนที่วางไว้ตั้งแต่เริ่มต้นเลย
The team has practiced a lot, so they are very well confident with this game as they has practiced throughout the day and like months earlier. So they are very chill out for this game.
You caught a lot of people's attention with that dance. You want to show us a little bit of that? Okay.
เราเบิ่งได้บ่
Let's just see a little bit of that. Go ahead. Very nicely done. And you can see
Thank
that
you.
you're enjoying it. How about send a message to Laos and to everybody watching?
ขอบใจทุกคนที่ว่าเชียร์พวกเขาเด้อแต่ละกับพวกเขาสามารถเฮ็ดได้แล้วสามารถชนะอินเดีย 2-0 แล้วก็สกัดสถาน 2-0 สามารถเก็บ 2 แต้มได้แต่แล้วก็ฝากเชียร์พวกเขาแมตช์ที่เหลือนำขอบใจ
Thank you. For the loud people watching, now the team is leading 2 win and then no loss at the moment, and then focus on us. We will win and no loss.
Congratulations. And with that 2-0, no loss yet, it shows how comfortable they are to the point that he's dancing here on stage. Congratulations. And we're going to break it down with our casters. Lead the gorge.
Thank you, Mara and Salaha. That was some moves coming in from the man himself. I've got to tell you here, he's confident. He's also saying that, guys, thank you for supporting us coming in from Team Laos. We're currently 2-0, but we're going to go undefeated in the group. That is confidence coming in from this guy.
Definitely. I mean, it was built off of yesterday and to today. I think that you could only be confident, right? The way that they've been able to dismantle teams and to get to like late game, they've shown a lot of range here in the past 2 days.
I agree. He has no choice but to be confident. He deserves to
He
be.
has a choice, by the way.
Yeah. He has to be because the gameplay he's showing is just so good, and
So good.
that the confidence outshines inside the game as well, and it's translated very well into their mindset and the way they pull back to not do any mistakes. That's the amount of confidence and discipline that I wish to have.
Yeah, you know, like the first match that he had right yesterday, it was against Kazakhstan, and it was like so back and forth, you know, like.
Oh yeah.
And then you just have to imagine, like, okay, what exactly happened that went down for them to remind themselves, like, okay, that game, let's forget about it, let's learn from it, and then bring that discipline, that attitude coming into today's game and close it up cleanly against Team India.
Yeah, and actually going up against any of the squads, it's not like they're, going down or anything. Like when they're tested, it's like, okay, how do we increase? How do we overcome? How do we get into those spots? And it looks like they're ready to go. It doesn't matter who they're playing up against. They're going to make things very competitive or close things out like they did as cleanly as they did in this one.
Yeah, super well done coming in from Team Laos. Congratulations on bagging back-to-back wins. But before we go into the break, we need to check out the interview coming in with Team India's representative with Mara. So Mara, please take it away.
From Team India, we're here with mid laner Harsh. We were surprised with game number 2. What we noticed was that there was a switch in roles between the jungler and the farm laner. What was the rationality behind that, and why take that risk?
I think throughout the tournament, we were playing it quite safe and conservative. So at the same time, we know that our farm laner, he kind of plays tanky junglers well. And we just wanted to try out a beefier comp. So we were just like, let's just try it out. And yeah, we just took the risk. And it didn't pan out well. Like it didn't pan out well, but oh well.
Some plans don't go as expected.
Yeah.
But oftentimes you do need to take that risk to see what else that could happen. But tomorrow, you're going to be coming back here against Saudi Arabia. How do you plan to bounce back?
I think we're just gonna go back to the drawing board and maybe jot down our mistakes, and then we're just gonna play our usual game and try our best to win.
And we want to see more of India India's watching right now. What would you like to say to everybody? Invite them to support you for tomorrow.
Yeah. So just come and support us. We need your support, and we are gonna do
Yeah.
better, and we are gonna
Support
come out
India,
stronger
guys.
than today. So yeah.
Chat.
Harsh, thank you
India
so much.
emoji.
Thank you.
And good luck on your match
Thank you.
tomorrow.
Thank you.
We're going to head back to our casters. Lead the gorge.
Thank you, Mara, and also Harsh for that interview here. You can definitely see that he's also quite nervous for a sense because representing India, representing his own region is a sense, it's not little matter to be talking about. You have to take it seriously. And I know results may not be the best this time coming in for the region itself, but maybe next time with this experience, they can come back on top for a future event, right?
Yeah, we can hear some of the sadness in his
Yeah,
voice as
I know.
well.
Yeah.
We can feel it, right? But again, there's a lot of chances after this for sure. This is just the stepping stones, just the baby steps. It's okay. There will be a point where they will be able to find the best of the best from the local, and also to maybe even perform even better, or maybe even be the champion.
You saw sadness, I saw relief, right?
Oh.
Because if they won, they would have had to done a TikTok dance with Mara, and they don't need to do that anymore. So I think in the end, I think that they're gonna be like, okay, yeah, we lost this one, but at least we don't have to dance. We're fine.
I think I'll rather take the win and have to still do the TikTok dance because, hey man, a W is a W, and maybe dancing with Mara towards other people's perspective is also a W. Maybe not me, I can't really dance, but you know, for others, maybe they enjoy it.
Wait, is there no choice to to win and avoid Mara? There's no choice.
I don't think that's a choice. I don't think that's a choice.
I think
Oh,
some of the
no.
teams are not winning because of that, by the way. We need to figure
Hey, you're throwing shade on Mara. You're just joking, Mara. We love you on the broadcast. It's just Holler. He has a bit of a different perspective here, but let's jump into the next match first before we actually go on courts too. It's going to be Kazakhstan taking on against Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So far, Kazakhstan has had a role. We know they fight in the team fights really well, the 5v5s, but their rotations a bit lacking. And KSA, they're still looking for their first win in their respective group itself. So for these two teams, I would say that Kazakhstan has the upper hand from how they are playing and what they have showcased so far. But hey, only the game itself will tell when it actually unfolds.
Yeah, we know that Kazakhstan is a very strong team, but do you know what else is also a strong thing? It's gonna be IQ 15R, official gaming phone for 2026 Asian Games Esports events, Honor of Kings qualifier. This is what the players are using up on the stage, 120 FPS with all the best liquid cooling and all those things. I'm not sure if it's okay, but I might be wrong, but it's very good cooling that you will not experience any frame drops whatsoever.
Correct.
So don't forget to try it out.
Yeah, if you need a good device, check out IQ 15R, one of the best ones so far that we actually had on the stage itself to actually support Honor of Kings gameplay. But that was Series 3 coming in between two of these teams coming in from India and also Laos here. Coming back to the break, we will bring you more Honor of Kings action that will be packed up. So let's head to a break.
Who will be the next to shine on the Asian Games stage? Contestants fight for the honor of their regions while we cheer them on from the stands. While we cheer them on from the stands. This is a challenge, but it is also an opportunity. The tide is turned. And we pulled it off together. We share the same voice, the same radiance. This moment of brilliance belongs to all of us. Together, we shine.
Welcome to the 2026 Asian Games Esports Qualifiers, Honor of Kings. 20 regions, one stage, and only the strongest 9 teams will earn the right to shine above the rest. Taking place in Malaysia, June 13th to 21st, 2026. Coming to Malaysia, this is the battleground where teams fight for the right to qualify for the Asian Games. 20 teams enter, but only 9 teams will move on. Apart from the 20 regions, there are 3 regions that have direct qualification. Here is the 2026 Asian Games Esports Qualifiers Honor of Kings format. First, the 20 teams will split into 4 groups of 5. In each group, every team faces every other team once in a single round robin, with every match played in a best-of-3 format. That means every match matters. Every game matters. Every single point matters. The point system is simple. Win the match, earn 1 point. Lose the match, earn none. At the end of the group stage, teams are ranked by the total points they've collected. And from there, the road begins to shine. The top 2 teams from each group qualify directly to the Asian Games main event. That gives us 8 teams advancing straight out of groups. But for those not through yet, the light isn't out. The teams that finish 3rd in each group still have 1 more shot. They move into the last chance stage. There, they battle through one final BO3 single elimination bracket until 2 teams remain. The 2 teams will then face off in a BO3 match to claim the one final qualification slot. So in total, 9 teams will make it through, 8 from the group stage and 1 through the last chance stage. That is the rule. Now it is time to see who can rise through it. From across the world, regions gather here in Malaysia. 20 teams, and only 9 will qualify. The path is set. The stakes are clear. Together, we shine. Stay tuned, and we'll see you at the stage.
Ultimate not ready yet. You have slain an enemy.
My magic murmurs in ecstasy.
Amazing!
There is no escape for you.
Killing spree. Double kill. Triple kill. Spectacular kill.
Don't worry. I'll be back for your life soon.
Double kill.
Shall I compare thee to a summer
His voice is kind
sky?
of a Ronaldo, guys. The new hero is coming in the it's okay, guys.
Don't cross us like insects. Defend our base. Our playground tower is under attack. Amazing! Unbelievable! Triple kill.
Ah, the fragrance of romance.
Ally has been slain. Rampage. Double kill. Triple kill. Spectacular. Pentakill.
Lady Fortune is on my side.
They tried.
The new Spritling skill, Dig It, is a passive skill, which will automatically trigger at fixed times each match, up to a maximum of 10 times. The skill grants guaranteed standard rewards like gold, XP, shield, health recovery, and more. There's also a small chance to uncover mysterious grand prize effects during the match. Dig It may also produce tradable high-value treasures. Detailed information about acquired treasures will be shown after the match ends. Each treasure has its own rarity and storage size, and obtained treasures will be automatically stored in your warehouse. If you want more high-quality treasures, make good use of the Treasure Fusion feature. You can also copy and share your code so friends can help speed things up. Treasures in your warehouse can be sold for event currency, which can be used to redeem skins, items, and other rewards on the event page. You'll even have a chance to win physical prizes like smartphones and cash. You can also spend event currency to bid on high-value rewards. The auction uses a hidden bidding system, where you can submit 2 bids for the same reward. The highest bidder wins, giving you even more ways to obtain rewards.
Itu kan track kita. Relax, bro. Phone aku! Jom ke mana? Mountain View! I'm a fire, I'm alive 'cause now I fly so high, so high, light up the skyline. Let's do it this time, like it's a whole new colorful world. And we're the only ones in this world. Like we're the only ones in this world. Never thought we'd get this far, burning like the stars. How we get this far? Like we're the only ones in this world. Like we're the only ones in this world. Like we're the only ones in this world.
One minute, 30 seconds, guys.
What's a life without its worth? Compromising with what hurts inside. When you let fear decide your fate, you don't choose which path to take in life. In life, I'm finally letting go of everything that still holds me. I'm against all odds, but I won't give up 'cause it's my time to shine. Standing in the spotlight, can no one back me down? Destiny is calling high. I'm not afraid to fight for everything I love. Victory is on my side. The more we lose, the more we gain. The more that nothing stays the same in time. In time. Can love ever, can forget. What you see is what you get sometimes. Sometimes. Gonna show the world tonight. The light that shines inside us. We're against the odds, but we won't give up 'cause it's our time to shine.
The name is Sagi, and welcome back to the Honor of Kings Asia Games Qualifier 2026. And right now, we are up to the match number 4. Match number 4 will be featuring Kazakhstan going up against Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And joining me on the broadcast today will be Sir Cloud, welcoming him back to the English broadcast, and his partner, Adam Spartanker.
Oh, and my partner.
My partner.
Yeah.
Awoo.
Sir, oh, that's a good that's a good dap up. That's a good dap up.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that shows that how long we have known each other.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, come on.
Very nice, very nice. Okay.
Don't blow our cover on cam.
Okay, sorry. But yeah, again, Kazakhstan and Saudi Arabia is gonna be very interesting for us to watch. It's a match that we've seen Kazakhstan playing yesterday. Heartbreaking match because they almost actually won that. A lot of teams are actually rooting for them as well yesterday.
I think Kazakhstan's playstyle is actually very team fight centric. They seem to be a very young and wild team. Something that is different from Laos, where they're more control and they know how to pace themselves and bring out the best element in their team composition, like we saw just now, back-to-back Ukyu Tachibana games coming in from Vilacon, and he was just able to push those leads so consistent with his help with his teammates, and making sure that it was an easy win coming in from the side of Laos against the side of Team India. And talking about Team India, it's a bit sad hard to say that they have no longer any chance to make it towards the main event, but it's the experience that matters.
Yeah, I believe so. Whoever who is here will gain that level of experience, right? And hopefully we'll get to see them again in the future, and potentially maybe represent the country again, or maybe their clubs in the future too.
Yeah, I agree. And this is definitely a match for us to watch, but also not to forget what's going to be happening on the 17th of June is the new season. The Grand Venture begins on 17th of June. Sorry. Explore the gorge and discover hidden treasures because there's going to be a lot of things over there and a lot of new updates with all the new heroes coming in, especially Florentino. I have my eyes on him.
Oh yeah, Florentino is definitely going to be a very good pickup here for Clash or jungle players, and the kind of revamped the sprite link system is no longer a spell in-game, but it's going to be a hidden partner feature that helps you dig up treasure, so you can actually put it up the consignment market to earn in-game currency. So that's for the upcoming update, but for this upcoming matchup here, although we won't be going into much of elimination,
Bro, they are
every win matters
literally
because it
talking like
solidifies
this.
yourself in the group itself, and Kazakhstan currently they're 1-1. For King of Saudi Arabia, they're still looking for their first win. Whoever gets this upcoming win puts themselves closer to the main event or further away from the main event.
Yeah, both of them still have a chance, right? Both of them still have a chance to either be in the top two or at least be in the LCQ, number 3, right? So they have a lot is at stake here, basically, for this game.
Yeah, last chance qualifiers is definitely something that every team's actually trying to avoid because they have to play a lot more games and a lot more days being here. But also, if it's the only choice that they have to go through it and make sure that they are ready to go up against every other group at the standing number 3.
Yeah, standing number 3 will
Legacy.
invite you towards the last
What is Legacy?
stage. But this epic matchup coming in for both these teams will be unfolded with the start of the teaser video introducing both team lineups to the stage.
হাসো না ওটা অন্য কিছু বলে
Their journey has been defined by resilience and determination. Even in defeat, they made their opponents fight for every inch. Now, they step back into the arena with more confidence than ever. Here they come, Kazakhstan!
Fast-paced and always willing to take the fight, their aggression has kept every match competitive, but the breakthrough is still needed. Now they return with everything to play for. Please welcome Saudi
নিজের উপর আগে দিয়েছিল
Zero history between two teams, but a full heart to represent their country, their region in the honor of Kings Asia Games qualifiers here right now. And this upcoming match will decide a lot coming in for their group ventures here. Will they get the throne? Will they get to the top 2 spot to the main event? Or will they be further away from it?
Well, Kazakhstan represented by Ali Khan, Marapat, Arshin, Bakzol, and Sunkar. So this lineup, I mean, from the start of this tournament, we've seen them performing really, really well. So I would say that they are one of the top favorites here to be in this one.
Yeah, I think as we analyze both games and we have more data coming in for the later days of the 2026 Asian Games Esports qualifiers, it's start to see that some of these teams, they've been growing and pacing rapidly, except for Kazakhstan, especially them. They have been so darn good in team fights. Every time that you see they're back against the wall, they will find a miracle team fight to put themselves back onto the map.
Yeah, trying to find that mindset to, you know what, okay, we have to pull back, we have to get ready for the next one, but we can still do it even though we're behind in 3,000 goal and whatsoever. It's just something to really learn from. But this is the lineup from Saudi Arabia. We have Faris, Anas, Yusuf, Ahmed, and Mohammed. Definitely a lineup to look out for because they really know how to do their thing.
I think they're still finding their groove, right? After they lost the first series coming in for their respective group, the groove is the momentum, is what they're truly looking for. If they can find the proper step coming into their current zone and they can get more confidence, more gameplay in, maybe they can actually break through that top 3 spot.
Yeah, and sometimes it's about getting the feel of the tournament, right? Getting the feel of the setting, being in this offline, and feeling what's the kind of like a meta of the tournament as well, and learning from their experience from their previous round. I'm sure they will carry forward to this round and do even better.
Yeah, definitely. And this is the players that are going to be against each other. They are ready up on the stage. The coach has their headsets on. They really want to prepare for what's coming next. The first two heroes that's going to be banned is the most important one, knowing what Kazakhstan is very good at. Kazakhstan is going to be going with blue side, and Saudi Arabia is going to be going with red.
And so far, the blue side has introduced a lot of these aggressive jungle picks, like the Ata and also the very popular Tachibana that sets up a good pacing coming in for the team itself. And then we also can reference back to Uzbekistan's game where they lost first game and came back both games, where they like to play things like the Dolia Kaiser, Dolia Fuzi that has a lot of surprise element here. So coming in for this specific game between Kazakhstan and KSA, I do imagine the first 3 picks to be more revolving around engaged heroes like the Lian Po, Zhangfei, Lapu Lapu, and more aggressive mages like the Xiao Qiao or the Garuda.
Let's not forget about the Chano pick as well. Has been really popular. Chano, Arlie, Direnje. For farm laners, these 3 heroes have been very popular. So I would expect to see them somewhere in there, whether it's being picked up or being banned.
Yeah, Chano is such a good hero that they're going with, and they actually managed to pull it off very well. And the itemization coming in from Team Laos, especially just now, they really know how to maximize the usage of Chano. So I do think that it's one of the best heroes to be picked. But what else can you do aside by Chano? What are they going with? Are they going to go with Marco Polo? Are they going to go with maybe something much more aggressive? But I'm not surprised if Ukyo gets banned here.
Indian
Or the
dates.
Dharma, right? Because we do see that the fact that Alihan is actually a very cool Dharma player, and that's the Ukyu that you pointed out here, spot on, removed from the pool. So first pick here, there is the channel that you guys were mentioning just now that could be a potential first pick. And later on, you can see more on towards the roamer side on the Lapu Lapu. That's the Maestro Nuinger. So Kazakhstan wanting a more aggressive approach. They want to be fighting. They want control in that early skirmish.
Yeah, this means that they can play this very fast. After the first wave in the middle, the Mai is able to rotate either to the clash lanes out or the farm lane side. So for Saudi Arabia, they have to be aware of that situation. And Kazakhstan, we've seen their gameplay before. Their gameplay is really fast, and they know their timing of their rotation.
Definitely, and we do know that Kazakhstan are very aggressive in terms of their gameplay, so the coach are most likely going to be drafting heroes that are aggressive, that's suitable for their own gameplay. Charo and Daidia has been picked out as well, and Lapu Lapu and Dharma is a very strong pick. Kazakhstan is really favoring with all of these crowd controls.
A very Kazakhstan playstyle, I would say. If you were to refer back to their game
Kazakhstan
yesterday,
playstyle, wow,
yes,
like it.
it's really team fight centric. Yes, they might not be the best team in terms of map movement or macro. When it comes down to important team fights, late game moments, that's where Alihan and also the side of their team start to find those big moments with those big truth mantras coming in from this Clash Lane player.
So if you have this amount of engagers, right? Like you have the Dharma, you have the Lapu Lapu, you have the Mai that can engage as well, right? Perhaps at the top of your mind, if you are Saudi Arabia, is that okay? You want to find a hero that can go toward the back line directly. You don't want to play with the strategy of front to back because of these walls that are in front of you. You want to try to find a way around it instead.
Yeah, trying to find a way around really depends on the hero composition, the heroes given by the coach. It's very important for them to have someone who can actually try to flank all the way to the back safely and preferably to not be struck down in the process. So we want to see that being made by Saudi Arabia as well, and they're taking out Arlie and Dirente. What do you think, Sagi?
Smart approach, right? We did see back-to-back DRNJ games coming in from Bakzol yesterday night,
Oh my
and he
god.
had a fantastic performances. A lot of damage, like I think what 300,000 damage coming in and out of his DRNJ pick,
Wow.
and you can start to see the Kazakhstan answer towards the Clash lane will be Byron and also Ata. Potentially KSA might have to consider the buy T going into the Clash lane because tanks are pretty limited in this pool.
I would have considered to bet on Marco Polo instead because
30
the Spirit
Yes.
Wolves can be easily cleared by the Marco Polo. But instead, they're going to go for the
3 and
Aaron.
24.
Aaron is starting to get popularity. I noticed that being picked up today a
Yeah.
couple of times.
Yeah. Erin is actually a very good hero as well. It has our Laura Bloom is a very strong thing because it converts physical stats into magical damage output, which is something that not many other heroes actually have. So which makes it quite confusing for the Saudi Arabian players, right? They wouldn't know what defense items they're gonna be picking after this.
Yeah, that's true, right? And with the item build coming in from Boxel's Erin, it's normally the Sparks for Doomsday into the Void Staff, which gives her a lot of flexibility in that damage output. You have physical, you have magic, you have everything in a specialized kit. The only downside about Erin, the mobility is not as consistent compared to other heroes, so the positioning coming from Boxel will be really important. And the final pick coming in from Marapot in the jungle
Okay.
will be that Hansin. Hansin is a
কি
very
হয়েছে?
agile hero, but really requires
হ্যাঁ তুমি চাও
handful
ও
of
ঠিক চলে
movements
যাবে ওর কি
coming in
যাবে
from the user itself.
Yeah, but if Hansi is able to pull it off really well, they have like at least 4 heroes that could engage. Yeah, 4 heroes that could engage, and then Aaron is just like, okay, try to give out a damage for free.
Yeah, I agree. So I do think that having these all tanky heroes in front of them, they're gonna try to make good use of the Erin as much as they can. And Hanshin is a very interesting pick. He's gonna be playing as aggressive as possible, hopefully to be able to successfully get someone out of the team fight.
Yeah, anyway, we're going to go on to the first game here of this matchup. This game will be really interesting. We're going to see a team that has a lot of heavy engagement here going up against a Saudi
Join HOK
Arabia.
Studio, guys,
And
and
look at the knockout coming in from the side of Saudi
click on
Arabia.
the
They
one link.
really want to find a early team fight coming in from them. Kazakhstan really have to be careful because they
One
still
link.
need some time for Marapat to
It's
get
okay
all of
global.
his jungle resources first
Link in
before he can
description
actually
and subscribe
involve
this channel.
himself into his team
Download
fights.
link in
Okay,
description
alright.
also. If you
We're
are
starting
new
to
in
see an
MOBA,
active
then
approach here
join
at the top.
HOK.
I'm looking at the Clash lane. Also, same goes for
And
Saudi
we're
Arabia
gonna come
on
back
the farming
tomorrow
area as well. Both sides, they have the same idea of like,
after
okay, after the first wave in the
new
middle, let's rotate to either side to try to
match,
give a
the
bit
last
of
match of our
pressure
India
towards the opposing
for Team
side.
India.
And
So
I
we're
would
gonna
say that
support
this is all
tomorrow
about
and
timing,
India
and it's good that
gonna
these
come
teams are
back
very
for
active
sure.
together.
Seems
So
like there's a lot
hope
more
for the
proactive
best.
movement coming in from Saudi Arabia, but they did left Ahmed alone
So
down
see
here,
you
having
soon,
Sunkar
guys.
still in front of Bakjol. I do
Signing
feel
off.
that he's
Peace
gonna
out.
struggle a little bit more because Sunkar is mighty aggressive. We've seen their gameplays yesterday. We know what they can do, and we know Sunkar is not gonna go down